And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Introduces, and we're joined all the way from Czech Republic, Pavel Beran and Radek Neumann.
Hi.
Was I okay? Was that right?
Yes, right.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. So, Radek, you're going to be filling in the English for Pavel's because his English is it's okay, but it's you're going to help us keep it moving. So, Pavel, I first knew about you after the 2018 EVL show. You were fourth place.
Yes,
fourth place, and I thought, okay, this guy is really good. You were fourth place. Ruli Winkler was in it. Nathan Diasha was in it. And fourth place in a big show is very good. Very good. Yeah. And
the third place was Lukas Osladil.
There you go. I mean, huge lineup.
Yes.
So, and then obviously I haven't seen you since, and I've been wanting you to compete again. And you were in Alicante last week. And I'll be honest, I'm confused. I don't know what happened because I thought you looked absolutely fantastic. You heard on the live stream, I was on the mic saying, Pavel looks incredible. And you got 13th. And normally I don't like to say, okay, I'm criticizing judging, but I'm telling you, they had this one very, very wrong.
Rozumím, ale řekni, co chci říct. No, řekni, co chceš říct. No, rozuměl jsem, že... Dobře, takže tě viděl naposledy. Já vím, že jsi vybral se z Alicante, že vlastně se skončil. 13. nikdo to nechápe a myslím, že nechce kritizovat rozhodčí.
We don't understand too. Why?
Yeah, just... I was...
Because I was... My weight was high about 7 or 8 kilograms from 2018. Mm-hmm. And the shape or condition was, I think better because my muscle was harder and ještě ostřejší.
Fuller
hard. And yeah. So I don't understand.
So why did you take 3 years to compete again?
Tak řekneme, že jsme si založili rodinu a že vlastně první závod jsme měli naplánovaný New York, který kvůli covidu se zrušil.
So the initial plan was to compete in New York 2020, but due to COVID and this contest was postponed to, I think, September. And due to this travel restriction, Pavel cancelled this plan. And in between, with his current wife, they started a family life. So
I have a son my son born in January last year.
Okay. So tell me about where you turned pro and your contest history before 2018.
Before 2018, my contest was Arnold Classic 2016 and EVOS 2016 in like a junior.
Juniors.
Junior, yeah. I won Arnold Classic like junior, and week after I won Arnold EVOS Prague Amateur like junior, and next day I won men's open and men's overall champion. Wow. And I got a pro card. Mm-hmm. And I know that to profit, I must increase my muscles and next. So I take 2 years to progress, and I compete in Evels Prague Pro 2018.
Yes.
The first competition was 102 kilograms on Pro Debut Evels Prague Pro. I have 115 kilograms, and now I have 122 kilograms.
Wow. How tall? How tall?
183 centimeters before squat.
After 170.
Yeah.
So you're six. I'm 183 and I'm 6 foot 6'1". So you're a tall guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you're 122 kilos now.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, not now, but in Alicante. Yeah.
It was the
competition weight.
That's impressive. So what about moving forward now? Because like I said, I don't usually disagree with judging decisions. I'm normally, especially since the split, in 2017, I think the judging's better now, and I tend to agree with a lot of the decisions. But like I was there, and I just couldn't get my head round. I couldn't understand why you were, because you weren't in first call out. I was like, okay, not in second call out, and I was like, what is going on? And then third call out, I was like, this is not. You were just left. I don't understand what was going on.
Yeah. When the first call out was, and I don't hear in the first call out, in my head I says it's end of this competition for me.
Oh, wow.
Because I want to win the competition, or the first 5 place can be, but if I am not in the second competition, so I says, what the fuck?
Yeah, I did. I said that.
Something is wrong.
Yeah.
And it was bad.
So how do you feel now? How do you feel now?
I think that it was a good experience for me.
Yeah. Did you enjoy doing the show generally, the experience of the venue and how the stage and everything?
No. Tak řekni tam, že tam bylo horko jako silně. So too hot and too wet weather.
It wasn't wet. I was there. It was bloody hot.
Yeah. And I can enjoy the competition when judges are right.
Yeah.
If judges for me are not right, it's bad competition for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've had 4th place, so you are recognized as being very, very good. So I would just say keep moving, because if you saw, did you see Phil Clayhar at the Tampa, the Chicago, 11th place, 2 weeks later, 2nd place at Tampa, and then 3rd place at Texas. So you can get it. You can get that in one show, and you can go to the next show 2 weeks later and get top 3.
No, že vlastně jako můžeš se během těch soutěží posouvat.
Yes. Yes, we have a plan on the next competition. It will be Evels Prague Pro in...
Yes, good.
It's in November.
It's November. Yes.
November, yep.
Yes. And after this competition, I maybe started on a Romanian Pro week after.
Okay.
Maybe, but it was the last competition in this year because I want to clear my body, take a rest, and připravit.
So
improve to next progress and new muscles, new level of power.
Yeah. No, good. That's good. Just keep going. And I'm glad you're doing Prague, because that's a fantastic show and you've had good result there in 2018. So where are you from in Czech?
We are from Pilsen, nearby Pilsen. Pilsen beer, Pilsner Urquell, you know it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more of a wine man than a beer. I drink wine more than beer. But how old are you now, Pavel?
How old?
Yep.
How old?
Yes, 28.
28.
28.
Yeah.
So you were 25 when you took fourth in 2018?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So you've got plenty of time. You've got plenty of time to win lots and lots of pro shows. Plenty of time.
It's not time to lost time.
Yeah. So what do you do for a living, Pavel?
What do you for a living?
For a living, for job, yeah.
Just bodybuilding.
Okay. So you get good support.
Yes.
Fantastic. So tell me about. You got a good sponsor.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you have a family?
Yeah, I have a family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good. So okay then. What about have you thought about what's beyond 2021 next year or?
Další. Can you repeat this?
Have you planned any further ahead than Romania and the EVL? Any after that?
Po Románii.
2020.
Olympia.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So, talking about your physique, what do you think you need to do to improve to get back up into that top 3?
Co si myslíš, že potřebuješ zlepšit, aby se dostal do top 3?
Tak spodní část latissimu, přitahovat čestehen a spravit zranění z rameno, abych mohl líp pozovat bicepsový pohyb.
So let's say for better placing on competition, Pavel needs to improve his lower lats, thigh adductors, and let's say improve his current shoulder injury.
Oh, he had a shoulder injury.
Yes. It limits him slightly heavily in the training.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to make some exercises for him as well.
And not just exercises, but it's limited me in pose practice and posing on the stage, double biceps, front or back. I can't open my arms to just open and present my big arms and lats.
Yeah.
Witness.
Yeah. I think with your physique, I mean, I said on the live stream on the commentary, I said I think you need to get your back a little bit thicker to match the side and the front. I think just back thickness. I think with a better back, I think you'd be deadly in any show.
Perfect. Thank you, mate.
It's okay. Yeah. So, Czech bodybuilding. I mean, is there any other good bodybuilders in Czechoslovakia at the moment? Czech Republic?
I think yes. Lukas Osladil was 8th on the Olympia.
Yeah.
Last year, and we have some pro and some amateur, very good competitors.
Good. Well, I'm glad to see the EVL show back as well, because I went to that in 2012, the first year, and it was a fantastic event.
Že se těším vlastně ještě uvidí a že tam byl v roce 2018, protože to byla perfektní show.
Řekni, že se těším taky.
Okay, so we are looking forward to.
Sorry?
We are looking forward to EVLs.
Yeah, it's a huge show. It's a fantastic show. I was there. Dennis Wolf was first, and Sean Roden was second.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a really good show. So who is your coach?
Radek Neumann.
Oh, you're his coach. Sorry, not just his translator, but coach as well.
Yeah, friend and coach.
Wow. So I'm 28 years old though, Pavel. Like I said, I rated you. I thought you were very good in 2018. I remember when you got 4th. You know, and now you were being called out with, at 25 years old, being called out with Ruli, Nathan, like it was, you know, last weekend, you know, and you were comparing very, very well to the top names. That's why I think you've got so much potential, and I really do think you could be a force in the IFBB.
So, excuse me, I don't understand now.
I think he's good. Yeah, I think he's really good. I think at 28, he's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, just like I said, just keep going, keep improving. And I would really love to see you get a really good place in an EVL, because I think you deserve it. Because like I said, I wanted to get you on mainly because I just disagreed with that 13th place. I saw the judges sheet and I went, what? And I don't usually disagree, because usually the judging is very, very good. But in that one, I think they overlooked you. Sorry to say that.
Yes, but for me, it's this the same. The 6th place and 13th place.
Yeah,
it's not důležitý.
So it's not very important.
It's not important for
Pavel's ambitions are very high, so
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Ještě řekni, že myšlený, ale že prostě nedělám kulturistiku, abych že prostě chci v ní být nejlepší, tak není.
So Pavel, as I said, Pavel's goals are very high, so he's really dedicated to bodybuilding. From my point of view, so he's doing everything on 100%. So, and there is a lot of space to improve, but with his attitude, 100% attitude, I think it's possible that we will see him very high in the next future.
I believe that. And it's good to see a good tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like Steve Kuklo, Sergio there, because most bodybuilders aren't that tall. And it's when you see someone that's, you know, because you have a big frame that can really be filled out beautifully there, you know, and you have good detail, good symmetry, you know, a bit more back thickness. And I tell you what, you will be absolutely deadly.
Okay. We will see.
Okay. I'll put money on it. Yeah. All right then, Pavel. Well, I want to get you on, and I want to acknowledge, you know, your potential, and I'm just really excited to hear that you'll be doing EVL, because that's a show I will be at, and I really want to see you back up there, mate, and you know, to finish off the season strong, because I think you deserve it.
Že se těšíš na to jako na Hells a že vlastně věří, že tam dostaneš větší lepší výsledek, že se to posloužíš.
Tak řekni, že já věřím tomu, že na Evros dostanu to, co si zasloužím.
Okay, so Pavel is looking forward to Evros 2, and he hope that he will be evaluate better than in Alicante.
He will.
And
he will.
He made his best to, let's say, improve and show his best.
Because Prague is my town.
Yeah. It's true. It's your it's your home territory, man. Yeah. So, Pavel, is anybody you'd like to thank? Any sponsors? Anyone?
Poděkovat, ne, asi. Yes, I want to say thanks to my official sponsors, Czech Virus, the Czech Supplements Nutrition, and Evil's Prague Pro support me. I can training in his or in their gym. Mm-hmm. If the gym in the Czech Republic was closed, next gym, Fit Life Dubravka, open the gym for me, just for me. Right. And I want to say big thanks to my family, to my wife Nicole, and to my son Dennis, because they are the biggest win for me.
Oh, nice. And keep an eye on that shoulder. Watch the shoulder. Make sure the shoulder stays good.
Shoulder.
Make sure the shoulder stays good. Your shoulder.
My shoulder. Yeah.
Make sure. Keep it good. Just be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
Right, okay then, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming, MD Global Muscle. And like I said, I'll see you out in Prague, mate. And I'll be rooting for you, mate. I'll be shouting and screaming because I want to see you back up there where you belong.
Okay, perfect.
All right then, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope we will see soon.
Very soon. Thank you. Thank
bye
you,
bye.
guys. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Music Studio with me, your host, Giles Introduces. And we're joined all the way from Germany, Tim Budesheim.
Hi, how are you?
Tim, I have been trying to get you for a very long time.
Yes, 2019 we have last speak together.
That's correct. And I will go nice and slow because it's like you said, your English is good, but I will go as steady as I can for you, I promise.
Yeah, my problem is I can some understand, but I can't speak every word. Some vocabulary, I lost some vocabulary because I have study mechanical engineering, and the last 3 years I have some learn mathematics.
Yep.
And it was not so very time to learn English. To learn English better, yes.
Right. Okay, Tim. Now, firstly, the first time I saw you was at the Arnold Europe in 2011 in the when you won the juniors. It was the first Arnold Classic outside of America, and you won the juniors, and you completely blew me away.
Yeah, in Madrid, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, because there was all these great juniors, and then all of a sudden you walked on, and you were just huge. You were absolutely huge.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I have very good memories of this competition because my first international competition was World Championships also, and at the World Championships you don't see so many famous bodybuilders, you know. And at the Arnold Classics is what my first international competition, and there was a big messe, some booths, a big mass at the competition.
Yep.
And there was so many famous bodybuilders. I have met first time Lee Priest. I have met first time Günther Schlierkamp. I have met first time Tony Freeman, and also so many famous bodybuilders. And it's a great memory for me.
Yeah, and Ronnie Coleman was there. He launched his supplement company there at that show. Yeah. So, I mean, you won basically, the Arnold Europe is effectively like a world championship, isn't it, really, in terms of prestige and the size of the contest. So what was your contest history after that show?
My biggest history?
Yeah, what did you, how many shows and what shows did you do after that?
2011, the next show. Just a moment.
Okay. Hope it's not COVID.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm a little bit catch.
Oh yeah, you caught something.
Yeah, and it's every time after my competition when I come down with my body.
Yeah.
And I'm Just a moment.
Okay.
I get sick after my competitions every time.
Every time.
Yeah. 2011 Arnold Classics Europe, and my next competition was in 2013, and it was Arnold Classics Europe 2, but it was in Barcelona, I think, and World Championship in junior class, and 2013 was my start of my career. You can say start of career, because I have in Arnold Classics Europe, I compete at the junior class.
Yep.
And also I'm compete at the third weekend at the men's category up to 100 kilograms.
Yeah.
And I have I was a junior and have the second place at the men's up to 100 kilo in the heavyweight.
Wow.
And the first place, it's a big memory for me. The first place was in 4 weeks forward at the Mr. Olympia.
Okay.
And I was junior, and I was second place, and the first place I saw at the Olympia conference. And I think, oh shit, it's not so far from me.
Yeah.
But I'm the junior, and I can't realize that and at this year I have won my second junior world championships. I'm 2 times junior world champion and overall winner, and the world championships in 2013 was in the Mongolia.
Yep.
And after this competition I was crank. Moment.
He's using Google Translate. That's cool.
Yeah, after the World Championships 2013, I was sick.
Yeah.
And I can't compete at the German nationals. And in 2014, it was for me the biggest honor for me, and because I won the German nationals and the overall winner with 9-0 judges.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and at this competition was there was my whole family was there, and I live in the small village, and some guys from my village go by bus to this competition.
Today.
And
Fantastic.
It's great memory for me. And after 2014, I must do a break for 3 years because
San Marino, 2017.
San Marino, yes.
Oh wow, that was the one. I was there. And you.
But my memory for the 3 years competition break, it's not so good memory for me, because I was closed, or I was looked, because the doping control at the World Championship.
Okay.
And I must do a competition break for 3 years.
Why?
Because I have I was banned.
Oh, you were banned? What, you're banned for doping? Oh, God, not that again.
I was banned.
Oh, no.
For 3 years after the men's world championships in Brazil. And I must do a wet competition break for 3 years. And it was a time I I was finished with bodybuilding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think I'm a sportsman. I do what I love, and all guys in this business know how I work, or how you must work to win.
Of course.
And then they banned me.
Yeah, do you know, Tim? I think it's just bullshit, isn't it? I mean, it happened to Kamal Orgagni.
Yeah,
Kamal, he was banned for I think 4 or 5 years. So I mean, his career was held back several years, much like it was you.
Yeah.
So and then take us up to 2017, because that's when I saw you in San Marino, and you were absolutely incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah, in 2017, it was 2 weeks after my band.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks after my band, and I have do this show, and I was so motivated.
Yeah.
To go the pro card, because I would to be pro, and not I wouldn't like to compete every time for the IFBB amateur league, you know.
Yeah. So how old were you in 2017? What was your age?
Now I'm 31. In 2017, I was 27.
27. And you won the heavyweights and the overall, wasn't it, on the Friday?
Yeah, heavyweights and the overall.
Yeah.
And I come from the stage, and they asked me, "Hey Tim, you do you compete at the pro show?" And I tell, yeah, why not? Mm-hmm. And I have not lost, not for lost, and the next day I'm compete at the pro show, and I read the list from all athletes, and it was a big category. It was so many people there. I think 35 competitors.
It was packed. I've got footage on I have video on my phone.
Yeah,
I still have it now.
Yeah,
I can put it in, and I remember just panning with the video, and there was so many people. Now, tell us some of the names that were in that very famous contest.
Yeah, and it was there was so good athletes.
Very.
Brandon Curry.
Yep.
Hadi Chopin.
Cedric
McMillan. The new talent from Brazil, the Rafael Bandao, was there.
You beat him.
Yeah, I have so many guys. Clarence Davis was there. So many guys, so good athletes, and I took there the 4th place. Brandon
Curry was 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was that like, being called out in that first call out with, because I think it was you, Raphael was in first call out, I remember.
I can't realize that.
Cedric, Hadi, and you, I got video and photos I took myself, and you're being called out, and your condition was as good as Hadi's.
Yeah. Dennis James had moderated the show.
Yep.
And after the first call out, he tell me on stage, "Hey Tim, you're at the first call out. Mm-hmm. You do today 3rd, 4th, or 5th place." He said, "Yeah, bullshit." I can't realize that, and it was a big corner for me.
Yeah. I mean, 4th place. And then, was it 2019 you did New York Pro?
Yes, 2019 was a very important season for myself, because I know I'm the very good amateur bodybuilder. I know when I come in my condition, I can win some or every amateur shows, you know.
Yeah.
But when you at this time had asked me, hey Tim, what do you are for a pro athlete? I can't tell you. I at this time, I can tell you, yeah, I'm a good amateur, but I don't know where my standing is at the pro competitors.
Yeah.
You know, and I have. I have select some shows where I compete, and I think I do not a small show. I do the right show in US, in New York, in the middle of the pro industry.
Yep.
You know, and then when I'm good there, when I take the top 6, then I know for me, only for me, okay, you are arrived at the pro competitors, you know?
Yeah.
And when I have realized at this show, I miss 10 kilograms or more muscles. I don't know if I have. I don't know if I do pro bodybuilding weiter. Also for the I don't know if I do bodybuilding for future.
Right. Okay. So if you didn't make top 6, you were like, okay, I'm not gonna compete again.
Yeah. When I have realized at this show, hey Tim, you must build 10 or 20 kilograms more.
Okay.
That was not my understanding from bodybuilding. When I go about my mass, you know.
Yeah.
And my luck was at the show. Okay, when I bring my condition, I'm konkurrenzfähig. I am competitive.
Competitive, right? Okay. You want to be. You need 10 kilo more muscle to be really competitive as a.
Yeah. Okay.
As a pro. So okay. So I'm obviously 2020, no competitions.
Yeah, 2020. I was 2020 in the pole position, in the start position. I would took some shows.
Yeah.
But some shows are cancelled. You know. And okay, I have worked together with a new coach.
Okay.
The last few years, I have do the preparation with myself.
Okay.
And I know some good bodybuilders, Markus Rühl, Matthias Botthoff, or also. And I can ask they everything.
Yeah.
But I do the preparation with myself. And
so
in 2000.
What about 2017? Did you prep yourself for that one?
Yeah.
Wow, prepped yourself for San Marino and the Amateur Olympia.
Yes.
Wow, That's incredible.
And
holy shit!
Yeah,
wow, that's impressive.
2017, the preparation was at the second place in my life. At the first place, I have studied technical engineering.
Yeah.
In engineering study, and wow, it was so hard. I have learned in the gym for mathematics at the cardio. I do cardio and I looking some mathematics tutorials
wow.
and also yeah, I do the preparation by myself, and 2019 also, and 2019 I have ich habe gemerkt I have noticed that my own my own experience are at the end,
right?
You know, and 2020 I've or since 2020 I work together with a new coach from Wien, Stefan, and he is a coach from some pro athletes.
Okay.
And the cool thing is to work with him. I've spoke with Neil Hill and Dennis James and also, but the cool thing is with Stefan, he's not a coach to say, I tell you what do you make and you make it,
yeah,
and not and you must make it,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And with Stefan we have a conversation, and I tell him my experience, he tell me his experience, and we bound it together, you know. And that is a nice situation to find the best way for me.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Some coaches have one way, because some coaches have a way in his own, or in his meaning, and it's not every time the best way for the personality for me, you know.
Yeah. So you come together and you decide together what to do to be best for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And at 2019 I have watched my competition pictures and have check up my body and my Schwachstellen. Just a moment.
Okay. You're doing great, mate. Doing great. I'm understanding everything quite well, actually. It's great. You're great. Yeah, it's great.
And I realized my weak points.
Yep.
And I have with Stefan, with my new coach, we spoke together. How can I do?
Oh,
you know.
Yeah.
Weak points, you know. Weak points.
Yeah. Weaknesses.
Okay. Well, because my translate is tell me weak points.
Yeah. So let's.
And how can I my weak points better?
Yeah.
And 2020, 2021, I have worked so hard at my weak points, and my biggest goal was to bring better my weak points.
Okay, to improve them.
Yeah, to improve. Yeah.
So, in 2021, you did Portugal.
Yeah.
I thought you were bigger in Portugal, but your conditioning was not as good as, say, San Marino in 2017. But then when you did Alicante, your condition, I felt, was a lot better. It was more like the condition that we'd seen from you in the past. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah, it's every time by me. Before I do my first show, I must go on stage and show how is my standing. Normality, I do a guest posing.
Yeah.
To warm up the shows.
Right.
I do a guest posing, and I do the guest posing. It was a competition.
Yeah.
And after my guest posing, I look my pictures, and I know, okay, the condition is 90%, 95%, or also, and I hate it when I go to my first show, and it's the first show, it's all in, you know.
Yeah.
And also in Portugal, it was the first show with Stefan, with my new coach.
Right. Okay.
And we have, we must learn together to work together with carb up, with carb down, and to how can I bring my condition on point, you know.
You were second there. You were second. William Martin was third. Vlad was fourth. Andrea Presti was first.
Yes. Andrea Presti was first. I think it's what so far. Some guys looked the show. They tell me after the show, okay, Andrea Presti was good, but he was not so complete. Because
his conditioning was better than yours. But you had you do have a more complete physique, but the conditioning at Portugal I have seen better, and I saw that in Alicante. Alicante, I thought your condition was fantastic. San Marino 2017, fantastic. Portugal, 90%.
90%, right. Yeah. Right. And I think it was not so far, because I know that, and have 4 weeks to go to go Alicante.
Yep.
I have 4 weeks very, very, very hard diet, and go to the gym every time, every day, and hit the gym. And I know I must come better at Alicante.
Yeah.
And Alicante was the chance for the for the Olympia qualification a little bit bigger, because the first and the second place become the qualification for Mr. Olympia, and
you were third. You were third. You're so close. So close.
It was a pity that Ruli and Nathan have moment. This 2 weeks before the show that they compete there.
Right. Sorry. Say that again.
Nathan and Ruli.
Yeah.
Have publication 2 weeks before the show that they compete there.
Oh, I see. I mean, on the social media.
It was a little bit pity for me, because then they not compete there. I was the favorite for the first place, and also I saw Ruli 4 weeks before at the Chicago Pro.
Yep.
And his condition was not so very good. And I think, okay, Ruli can come, because with the condition from Chicago, I can hit him.
Right, you can beat him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if he'd have been off, I think you and Vlad would have both beat Ruli, but he kind of he improved. He improved.
But Ruli has worked so hard also in this 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And he was another Ruli in Alicante, because in Chicago, you know.
Yeah. So, what is next for you then? What's your next show? Are you doing anything after the Olympia, like Prague or San Marino, or what's next?
Yeah, I have a special in white for the Arnold Classics, UK.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, and I will compete there.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah, it's 7 weeks. I think it's in 7 weeks. And I think when I must so long diet now for the Arnold Classics, then I can compete at another show after there.
Yeah.
To qualification me for the Mr. Olympia 2022. Yeah.
Yes. So you got Nathan Sampson doing the Arnold UK. I mean, do you think you could win? Do you think you could win the Arnold UK? I'm Nathan's. I'm not sure. I think he is. I know Sampson is in. We have Joe Seaman. We have Jamie the Giant. I mean, these are all people that you could be very competitive against.
Yeah, I do the Arnold Classics not to win. In my brain, I do every show to win.
Yes.
Because when I go to the Olympia, in my brain, I will win it. Yeah. Because in real life, I don't win the next year Mr. Olympia also.
Yeah.
It's my motivation, you know.
Yeah.
Because the Arnold Classics, I do it was a big honor for me that I become a special invite for the show. Yeah. And I think when I'm in shape, I can do that.
You could win that. You could win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we will see how many competitors or how good competitors to compete there.
So if you went and won that, you'd be qualified for next year's Olympia. You could literally do nothing but, like James Holland said, just literally train for the Olympia for next year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That'd be cool.
When I'm qualified me for the Olympia 2022, I do a little break, recover my body, and to preparation next year for the Mr. Olympia. Because before the Mr. Olympia, I do a small show to check up my shape, and then I come to the Mr. Olympia.
Is that to compete or guest pose?
Yeah, guest pose or a small show.
Oh yeah, so you like to see where your condition is.
I need this.
You need it. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, what do you do for a living now? Are you actually a qualified engineer now? Are you? Is that all sorted?
Yeah, I'm studied technical engineering and finished my study this year in June, and I took my my master engineering.
Okay.
But I have canceled this because the COVID home study it's so shit home.
And you have children too, don't you? Children.
Yeah, 2 children. Yeah.
Oh, home study, children doesn't mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 sons. First son is 5 years old, and the little son is 7 months. And
wow. Tim Jr.
Yeah.
Tim Jr.
Tim Jr. Yes.
little Tim. Wow, that's fantastic. Well, what I will say, since June, I'm the 100% professional bodybuilder, and in my whole career, I have not this. I have never so went. I have never so good backup. I can
concentration every time, every day, 100% of my bodybuilding career. And the last years, I have not so time for something. I can't go to the physiotherapy. I can't learn enough my posing routine. I can't do some stretching for my healthy body, for my flexibility. You know, and the last year I have luck when I go to the gym and do my workout, and it's very, very nice when you have a little bit more time to recover, to make a short sleep, power nap.
For recovery. So you now have sponsors that mean you can do bodybuilding full time. Fantastic. That's great to hear. It was important to now to do some work to parallel, you know. To build me another appointment or another German word is Standbein, mainstay. Okay.
To build me another mainstay, and when then the bodybuilding career is over, and I must work, or I must become my money.
Well, you're obviously thinking beyond your bodybuilding career, because you have a family, and you know that bodybuilding isn't going to be forever. So that's very smart, doing all this studying and everything else. I mean, that's incredible. You have 2 children. I mean, that's you got a huge amount of responsibility there.
Thank you.
So okay. Oh, Tim. So you're going to be doing the Arnold Classic in the UK. That's very exciting news. I think I'd love to think you could win that one.
We will see how I can win it. I do my homework to the show. I hope I can bring the condition from Alicante to the Arnold stage in UK, and I hope the other competitors are not so strong, because Nathan or Ruli, I don't know where who compete there. I don't know. You know who compete there?
Well, Rowley's not. I've not heard Rowley doing it. I've not seen his name. I think Nathan might be doing it. I think he is doing it. He said he was, but I had him on last episode. I think he's in. But Samson, Jamie, I think these are all names that you could beat them. You know, I mean, depends what they bring. We don't know. But I think you have to be one of the favourites going into this contest.
Yeah. Okay. We hope that I can travel to UK, because the COVID shit. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's how we refer to it.
The travel. It's not so easy to travel to UK now.
Isn't it? Well, I had no problems with Spain. No problems.
Yeah, Spain what also not so easy, because Spain is a high risk area. You know.
Okay. Well, I'm fine. So okay then, Tim. Well, like I said, I'm excited to hear that you're doing the Arnold UK. Before I let you go, is there anyone you want to thank?
Thank you all people. Thank you all guys to support me, and I hope the next time when I go to your show and I spoke with you with a little bit better English, I will really learn it.
I'll send you some of my pictures as well from 2017. There's you next to Hadi, next to Cedric, next to Brandon Curry, and you look amazing.
Thank you.
I remember your lats. You know, there's striations in your lats. Your back when you did that pose, and it was just like, holy shit! It was like Dorian Yates condition.
Yeah,
incredible.
Some people tell me I'm the new Dorian Yates, the new German Shadow.
German Dorian Yates. That's a good.
Yeah,
name.
When I'm with clothes and in the press conference, I'm a little bit undercover, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not so big, not so heavy. And in off season, I'm not so spectacularly.
Yeah,
I'm not so spectacularly bodybuilder. And when I go to the show, I think I can be standing. I can win with my quality, muscle quality, with my stripes and my condition. You know,
100%.
But I know I have a lot of muscle deficit, biceps, hamstrings, and my back, my latissimus, much more better. But I'm a young guy. I can work that.
31. I mean, like I said, I remember you as a junior, and I was like, holy shit. I remember I wrote about you in Flex magazine in 2014.
Wow.
And I was like, this guy, I said, because I think you were still junior.
Yeah.
It was like, this guy is just, I mean, everyone else looked like juniors. You look like a mister. You look like someone had put you in the wrong category. You were so good. And I was watching it in 2011. I was there in the audience, and I was like, what? I said, he's won this so easily.
Oh, thank you. And I promised you when I sitting at the press conference at the Mr. Olympia, I spoke better English.
There you go. Well, I think
you here and now.
Okay, well, I think you've done great, mate. I think you've done great, and I really appreciate. Like I said, I've been trying to get you for a while, so I'm really happy we got you on Global Muscle. So yeah, Tim, like I said, I just want to give you some more publicity because I think you deserve it, and I think you're going to do great, and you're very close, and I'd love to see you win the Arnold UK and get to the Olympia in 2022 because I think you're highly underrated.
Thank you.
Okay. All right then, Tim. Hope you start to feel better and you're cold and you're clear and you get to train properly. And all the best for what comes next.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you, Tim. Bye-bye, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Music Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined by fitness Olympia champion, Missy Truscott. Yay!
Hey, Giles. How's it going?
I'm good. Are you going to throw me under the bus? I want to ask.
Throw you under the bus?
Yes.
No, I won't.
Oh, well, in the interest of being transparent, we had a bit of an issue and it was something I accidentally sorted. But you're here and it's really good to see you, Missy. I haven't spoken to you. It said on the Skype we haven't spoken for 8 months. So, obviously we're 6 weeks out from the Olympia. You're the current champion. How are you doing?
I mean, under the circumstances, a really devastating loss. The last couple of weeks, we lost John Meadows, who was my coach and just a mentor to a lot of people. It's been a really, really tough time, but I know that John would want me to keep pushing forward. So, I'm sure the people who follow me will notice that I've taken kind of a break off of social media just to kind of gather my thoughts. But as you can tell, physique wise, I'm still like busting it every single day. And my Olympia and Arnold prep is going to be in memory of John. So I have so much fire inside of me to get those titles back and really, do it for John and do it for all of his fans, followers, family, because they mean so much to us. So
yeah, I did leave. I wanted to leave it a few weeks because I didn't want to get you on immediately after. Because it was a shock to everyone. It was a shock to the industry. It was a huge loss. Like I actually said, if there's because the industry's actually come sometimes a little bit smaller than you realize. And if there was like a list of 10 people that no one had a bad word to say about, John would just be on there. And I never even knew John that well, but I knew how well thought of he was.
Yeah. And you know what? He has just touched so many people's lives that his legacy will live on through all of us, you know, and we'll remember those times with John and what we've learned from him. And, you know, especially his YouTube channel right now, his wife is keeping that up and running. So, you know, there's a lot of really, really good content out there. So I encourage everyone to, you know, keep referring back to those videos of John because, you know, he's taught us so much. And just like every day that I get into the gym or doing my cardio, you know, I think of what he's taught me and just everything. So I'm very blessed to have known him for, it seems like a short period of time when you actually when you think about it, but you know, his legacy will live on. So
I mean, when it first happened, actually, I said to Lauren, the first two people I thought of was you and Terence Ruffin. That was immediately what I thought. And then I thought, oh man, and then I remembered obviously that Sean Clarida as well. And I've seen the way that Sean is now dedicating his Olympia prep for John, you know, and it's like, it's just because right before, obviously it's terrible to happen anytime, but you know, when you athletes are kind of, you know, right in the thick of your prep, I think it's a real testament to your kind of strength of will and your respect for him that you're kind of just still forging forward and you're just dedicating those contests to him.
For sure. Yeah, 100%. And, you know, I'm super blessed because John had passed on the Sunday and we actually had a conversation on the Thursday. And I don't know if it was like God's will or what it was, but I was able to express to John how much I appreciated him. And, you know, he just really tell him what I was feeling in that moment and just really thankful for his friendship and everything. So I'm glad I was able to do that and had that opportunity to talk to him. But yeah, it's been a hard time, but you know, we still got to keep pushing forward. So
yeah. So I mean, I completely overlooked the fact you're doing the Arnold as well.
Yes, yeah.
I'm so focused on the Olympia. All I could think about was the Olympia, and when you said Arnold, I was like, oh God, yeah, she's doing the Arnold as well. So you're going for the two big wins. Yes,
I am. Yeah, wow. I'm really, really excited. You know, John and I had a plan, and I'm sticking to that plan, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm in good spirits now, and I just want to do it for him, and I want to get back to Columbus and see all the fans and just really, really go and put on a good performance.
That takes I'll have to admit, that takes real guts to go and do the Arnold as well as the Olympia, because you're the defending Olympia champion. So yes. You must be feeling super confident and super motivated to go and want to do both. I mean, most Olympic competitors say, look, I'm the Olympia champion. I'm just going to focus on the Olympia. You know, I just want to on that one show, but you're doing both. That's amazing.
Yeah. So my biggest thing was to always get more eyes on the fitness division. And the way to do that is to compete, right? We gotta show up for these shows, especially the big shows. So winning the Arnold last year in 2020, once COVID hit, it was hard because, you know, we didn't have the fans there. And this year, not only do we have the fans returning, we also have the men's open competing after us, the fitness. So now we have all these new fans who are going to be there watching our division. So I'm super pumped for that. I'm a huge bodybuilding fan, and I just can't wait to hear the crowd's reaction to my routine, because I know they're going to love it.
You've just made me realize something else as well, that you're also, because I think the Arnold Classic, it was only last year. So you're actually the defending Arnold Classic champion as well.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so funny, because I spoke to Steve Kuckler about this, and it said like the Arnold Classic is like, that was only last year. I know it's you know, obviously we had to have it later because it's going to be before the Olympia. So you're the current Olympia champion and you're the current Arnold Classic champion.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
The pressure is on right now, but like Chris Bumstead says, it's a privilege to have the pressure. Yeah. And it doesn't last forever. So, I mean, right now I'm just channeling it, and I'm it's fueling this fire inside of me to really perform. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Arnold and Olympia.
I mean, last year, the way you've improved your physique last year was incredible. And then obviously you pulled out these amazing routines. What have you done to kind of really take a step up this year in terms of your physique and your routine?
So throughout the off season, which was a little short, but John and I had a plan where I was going to kind of maintain. I still was up 10 pounds from stage weight from the Olympia. Wow. But you know, it's once you get on that bigger side, it's harder to do the fitness skills. But I was at that bigger weight, so probably about 145, still doing all my crazy flips.
Wow.
Still ups. Yeah.
That's
so
big.
now I'm currently, as you can tell in my face, I'm about 133 this morning. So I'm a lot smaller, but I'm a lot more athletic. I'm faster. Everything is just I'm going to blow people's minds. Like this,
you did last year.
This is going to be a really, really, really good showing for me. And I'm very excited.
Wow. Cause I mean, 145, that's, you know, when you're doing those, I've seen ladies on stage in the fitness who are maybe that size or even heavier, and the stage proper bangs, you know, it's like, so.
Oh yes.
But to do the kind of routines, I mean, Olympia level routines, you've got to be super fast. So you need to be lighter to be able to move that quick.
Correct. Yeah, for sure. And then also you have to, you know, put on the size in the off season to build up those lagging body parts, whether it's like your back, hamstrings, that type of area. So I definitely did that as well. I'm coming with a better back, better hamstrings. Obviously, you know, my goal is always to come with a figure like pro physique, which I'm 4 weeks out from the Arnold now. And honestly, Giles, I've already topped that. I'm not even looking at old photos. Yeah. Cause I feel so good right now.
Yeah. I remember the Arnold Classic last year, and it's funny because like the main part is with the routine, but when you came out and you did your front relax, I said, she's won. And that was, so literally you just walked out, opened up, and I went, she's won that. I said, I don't even need to see the routine. I said, she's so far ahead of everybody else. Her routine only has to be as good as the others. I said, I think it'll be better. And it was. So you smashed the Arnold, you smashed the Olympia. And I mean, the Olympia last year, I mean, that was like the dream team of like, it was like the all-time, you had Oksana, you had Whitney, you know, it was an incredible lineup. And you just, I mean, and everyone had you as the favorite going in. I mean, even with all those legends in that category in the Olympia.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely really a once in a lifetime experience. I compare it to like a men's bodybuilder being able to compete against the best of the best. So like Jay Cutler, Dorian, Ronnie Coleman, a younger guy being able to have the opportunity to stand next to those guys on stage. Well, I had it standing next to Oksana, Whitney, Adela at the time was supposed to come back. So, you know, that 2020 Olympia win was obviously one of my favorites, and I tend to do it this year too. I'm going in.
Yeah. Thing is though, Missy, that the thing about winning winning the Olympia is incredible, but to win the Olympia when you're going up against like the best of the best, I mean that, and in your first time, it's like that's really something special. It's going to be hard to top that this year, but I think you will. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna, you know. Ultimately, I'm going to bring my best, and whatever the outcome is, I know that I put my everything into it. I'm doing it for John, you know, that's what I'm doing it for. So
good. Are you still freaking your neighbors out by doing your practice in the garden, back garden?
Yeah. So I have my mats out there and stuff, and I practice. I'm still waiting for me to get on YouTube or like World Star or something like that, doing something crazy out there.
Well, I won't even ask the silly question that they always ask the fitness competitors. What's your routine going to be? Because it's pointless. Because you've got to keep it under wraps. Because that's the whole spectacle and the excitement. I think I mean, even if you said, Giles, I want to tell you off camera, I'd say I don't actually want to know. I would rather just be surprised, because when they're themed and there's a story, it's something you want to experience, whether you're either there in person or watching on the live stream. You know.
For sure. Yeah. And I can tell you that a lot of people are going to be able to relate to my routine and like really feel it. It's going to hit home with a lot of people, and I'm very, very excited to perform.
Good. And also, on another note, have you been doing any more shark diving with your husband?
Unfortunately, no, we haven't.
No!
We might try to next year once the Arnold and Olympia kind of go back to their regular calendars.
Right. Because
shark diving is in the wintertime in America. So it's like November, December months. So yeah, December will actually be when I start my prep for the Arnold. So I'll have to hold off for that.
Yeah, don't get eaten by a shark right before the Olympia. That wouldn't be a good look.
Yeah.
So how did you get interested in that then?
Shark diving?
Yeah.
So my husband loves sharks. He's like obsessed with them.
I've noticed.
Yeah, he's gone like 6 times. I've gone once with him. And it's nothing like you've ever experienced before. I encourage everyone to do it. It's obviously there's risks involved with it, but it's definitely like a once in a lifetime, like bucket list thing for sure.
So if you've got fear on one side and awe on the other, what would you say you felt more when you did it?
I would say awe. It's just like, it's so like, it's like majestic. Like you're in another world. You have these like 20-foot creatures, beautiful. They're like
20 foot,
a couple thousand pounds, and they're just like gliding through the water. And then you see like the bite force and you feel it through your body. It's insane. Like it's wild.
I really want to do it. I really want to do it.
You should come to Mexico and do it.
Yeah, because I've got I've got pets that I'm actually afraid of. I've got a python, tarantulas. I've got all these creatures that really I'm a little bit. I like that little bit of fear when you go near them and you think the snake could get me, or the spider could. You see its fangs, and that's kind of the appeal for me,
Oh, you'd love it then. You would love it. And if you tell the guys that, they'll start pulling the bait closer to the cage for you. No. You'll get these big mama sharks coming right up.
Wow. What great whites?
Great whites, yeah.
Oh, if you're going to do it, you got to go for the OG. You got to go for the whites.
You have to, yeah. And this water is crystal clear. Like you see 100 feet in front of you. You see like straight down into like an abyss. It's like just crazy.
Wow. Okay. So, so it's 4 weeks for you till the Arnold and then 6 weeks for the Olympia.
Yeah.
You excited?
So excited. I'm ready to go. I could step on stage today and I'd be ready to perform and go. Everything's already prepped and ready and organized. Like I'm ready to go. So I feel good. Right now, I'm just obviously in that depletion mode where it's just, training hard, getting my cardios in, and then, we'll start to fill up like a week out.
Awesome. Also, quickly, being a Brit, did you check out the new Brit, the Alex Small, the Scottish girl who's doing the Olympia? The fitness girl.
Yeah, she looks great. She
21.
looks really good.
21.
That's amazing. Yeah, she looks good.
Yeah, 21. Turned pro at 19.
Yeah, wow. I love that there's new girls coming up into the division, and we can really see some awesome physiques and new routines, new styles, people from other countries. I think it's great. I think it's, we're slowly growing fitness again, which I'm all for.
I mean, I do like watching fitness at some of the pro shows, but the Olympia, it's like you don't see a bad routine. You don't see a bad physique. It's literally the best of the best. And it is a real spectacle when you're at the Olympia. I think they're really kind of like the show openers, they really kind of get the energy going and build the atmosphere when, all these amazing, incredible routines and these backflips. And I love it. I do actually really like the Olympia. The Olympia at Arnold, I think you've got to see it in person to really appreciate how cool it is.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. Are you able to come to the Olympia this year?
I believe so. I think so. I'm going to find it. Well, I'm going to know very soon. So just trying to figure it out now with MD and everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh, good. Yeah. With the quarantine stuff, it'd be great for you to be able to come over,
Yeah. No, I can't wait. Well, Missy, I'm excited for you to be defending your Arnold Classic and your Olympia titles. So, you get the concert! Fantastic. And also, I'm very sorry about this technical issue we had before. It shouldn't have happened, but, that's show business.
Yep.
Right, and don't get eaten by any sharks before the Olympia. After is fine.
Okay,
Okay.
I will not.
Okay. Okay, what?
She's got a sword.
Oh, take your sword with you. Fight it off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, then I say thank you so much for coming on. It's great to catch up, and we'll be obviously watching very, very closely for the Arnold Classic and the Olympia to defend your titles. That's crazy. Both titles.
Thank you, Giles. I appreciate you, and I appreciate MD for always supporting the fitness division, and I can't wait to see you at the Olympia this year.
Woo, woo. All right, Missy, I'll speak to you very soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Music Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from Denver, Colorado, Martin Fitzwater. How you doing, Martin?
What's up, guys?
How are you, mate? We've never, ever spoken before, have we?
No, we haven't. This is our first time together. So,
yes.
Big fan. Super excited. When you reached out, I was like, man, I may be finally making it in the bodybuilding world.
Your glove muscle. Yeah. Right. So, okay. I'm going to go over my history of what I know about you. I mean, you were, up until a couple of months ago, I didn't even know you existed. And then I saw some gas videos, and I saw obviously Brett was starting to catch my eye with how he was looking, and I was like, because as you know, I was really like saying I think Brett could be, and obviously he did an amazing job at Chicago. And then I was like, and everyone was saying, have you checked out his training partner? And I was watching the videos, and I was thinking, who's this guy? He's massive. And then I was told your age, 24 years old. And then it was and then you went to Texas, and you just, after Brett as well, you two must be just buzzing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It was a big shock to the bodybuilding world, but we've kind of been up here in Denver planning it and kind of knew that it was coming, kind of had this idea in our head. We knew, that we were going to come out and shock everybody and really be exciting this year. We kind of knew that, so it was our plan. I actually lived in Wyoming a year prior, and I did everything in my power to make sure that I could move to Denver so Brett and I could train every day together. And it really, it turned out to be the best thing we could possibly have done this year. Both of us really had a kickoff season, and now it's just back to work, both of us. And that's our favorite part, so that's the most exciting thing is him and I linking up and just making it happen.
So Brett and Ivana moved to Denver, Colorado to train at Armbrust Gym 2 years ago. You moved a year ago. How did you all know each other?
So honestly, I didn't know Brett and Ivana until they moved to Denver. And I lived about 2 hours north up in Wyoming in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, and there was just no bodybuilder. So I was coming down on the weekend just to get some posing advice, stuff like that. And Brett and I ran into each other, and we actually ended up training together one time. And it kind of clicked. It was like, man, you have the same mentality. You're very intense like me. We were both ex-college athletes. And so it just kind of seemed to work. So we were like, well, I'll come down on the weekends and train with you.
Yeah.
And so I was ending up driving down 2 hours there and 2 hours home every single weekend for like 6 months. And I was working construction back home in Wyoming full time. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to coaching, and we're just gonna move to Denver, and I'm gonna make it happen so that I can train with Brett every day. So I finally felt like I had enough online clients that I could walk away from construction. And I packed my bags and I moved to Denver so that I could train with Brett.
Wow, what a thing is, I said for Brett and Ivana, I said, what a leap of faith it was for them. And then, is it funny how people just sometimes find each other in the industry and they take that leap and it just works out like a dream?
Yeah, no, it couldn't have worked better. And I couldn't be more thankful for the gym here either. Dylan and Armbrust is amazing. It's a great environment. And then, linking us up together gave us the opportunity to go down to Gasp, which has been probably the best thing that's happened to my career so far. Michael's the best thing I've had in my life, or one of them, so I can't get more excited to be part of that crew. And I'm with HD, and they're just as amazing as well, so I've really created an awesome group around me, which is fully led to my success for sure. And but that's being picky and choosy, and like I said, moving when it was necessary to make sure that I surrounded myself with the right people.
I always say, you know, if you can create your own environment, you can almost create your own success, and that's exactly what you have done. Yes,
sir. Yeah. No, I couldn't be more excited, and you know, it's still so early. Things are just getting started, so that's the most fun part of it all.
Mate, I mean, you're 24 years old. I mean, that just defies. I mean, even if you hadn't have come such a great placing, you know, at the Texas, you'd still be on everyone's radar, and you'd still be like, wow, there's this new guy, and he's, you know, because it was because the thing is, like, you and Brett actually have quite similar physiques as well.
Yeah, and I we talked about that a lot, actually. It's like we both kind of attribute it to just being like that athlete, trying to be an overall athlete growing up. You know, both track, both football players, both were in the weight room very early on. I started training weights when I was 10. I think Brett started when he was like 14.
10 years old.
Yeah. So I grew up in a 1,500 people in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And there was just nothing to do. So it was one of those things that it was kind of like, oh, I want to be a better athlete. What do better athletes do? Well, all the Olympic guys lift weights. That's what I'll do. And that's what got me into it. And then I really got into bodybuilding kind of right out of the gate. And I had posters on my wall of bodybuilders. Actually, there's a billboard.
Oh, wow.
But those have been on my wall since I was probably like 13 or 14. Just always been in love with it, and knew that was kind of my direction. So, you know, both of us having that athletic background, that's really what helped us link up, you know, in that competitive nature and everything, which has both propelled our career too, I think.
So give us, I mean, at 24, tell us your contest history.
So I started competing when I was 20. I was actually in pharmacy school when I first started bodybuilding, and it was kind of a leap of faith. I just finished college track, and I was just looking for that next thing to compete in. I kind of knew it was going to be bodybuilding, but I was ready to make the step. So 20, I did just a local show, got second in the open.
Wow.
To a guy that ended up going to nationals and getting second. Mm-hmm. And then, so I was like, okay, I think I could be decent at this. And I actually had a good pro at the time come up to me and tell me like, hey, if you'd have been in a little better condition, which I know you're 20, so it's understandable. But he said, if you'd have been peeled, you'd have won the whole show. And I was okay, cool. So I'll come back next year and I'll be peeled. So I came back that next year, did a local show, won the overall, went to a junior national show. And that's where I competed against Hunter Labrada.
Okay.
So he won the overall at that show. And then I went and did another junior show, I think, and I got a little bit worse. I just kind of ran my body into the ground. Mm-hmm. Then I took a full year, grew, and did my first pro qualifier. And the first one that we did, I spilled my look. I was like fourth or something like that. And then a couple weeks later, I came back and did another one at North Americans, and I got second in a split decision. And so that was kind of when it was like, okay, we know we're right there. It was either, do we keep prepping and try to do another national show, or do we shut it down, get better, and come back the next year? So I wanted to shut it down. I've always been kind of somebody to do like as minimal shows as possible, shut it down and get better. I really like that. So I went and shut it down, and I was going to do USAs, but with COVID and all that, just things kept getting pushed back. So I pretty much prepped from January 1st of 2020 until I got my pro card in like August of 26th or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it was just one of those things where it was like I said I was going to do it, and they just kept taking my shows away. So I just kept prepping and just making it happen. So I won my card out at North Americans, got second to Nick Walker in the overall.
Okay.
So that was a fun battle. That was cool to stand next to him and get a good experience of a bigger guy, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I knew, watching him do the Chicago Pro a couple weeks after that, it was like, okay, if I put on 10 more pounds, I'll be able to compete with the pros pretty well, or should be able to. So when I came out here to Denver, you know, Brett and I had that plan of like 10 to 15 pounds. I was probably up 15 at least, maybe 17. I will say I wasn't happy with my conditioning at Texas. So I coach myself.
Okay.
And I got a little bit behind, and I pushed a little bit hard, and I got a cortisol response. And so in doing so, I don't think that I got as much body fat off in those last 2 weeks as I really wanted to, more than it was just fighting my body and getting it back to try to get homeostasis. But I mean, happy with the package, obviously proud of the 4th place and excited for the future here, because I know that I can really, really improve on that package and peak a lot better, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So right now I'm actually just continuing to diet, not really for anything, getting my blood work and everything in check, and then just really just taking like diligent notes. I don't know if you saw my post yesterday, but just taking diligent notes about nutrition, everything that I'm doing. I'm running a baseline diet. And then really just making sure that next time around, it's even more perfect, even more peaked. Kind of trying to take the Dorian approach of just really, really writing down my whole life and kind of making adjustments from there.
It blows my mind how you can be so mature and so sort of focused, and like your life is all planned out and it's all going as planned as you know, for the last few years at 24. It blows my mind, mate. It absolutely does. Maybe it's an American thing. I don't know. Maybe you're all very much mature when you're younger.
Ooh, I don't know about that. No, man, I really appreciate that. But I think it, like you said, it really comes down to an environment and manifesting something. So, you know, I've been one that if I'm going to do something, I want to be the best at it or damn near close to it. And I've seen that the best bodybuilders in the world do those exact things. You know, they live in a box. They write everything down.
Yeah.
They're very perfect at everything that they do, you know, and I've been studying that since I was 10, 12 years old, watching YouTube videos. So I know, or at least I've seen somewhat a glimpse of what it takes. And I'm trying to take all those things and make sure that I'm at least one of those guys that everybody talks about eventually. So
yeah, thing is, if you want to not just play at something and do it as like a hobby and do it seriously, and you've relocated and you want to give yourself the best chance of success, you have to be all or nothing. You have to go all, like Dorian, like even from the start, he kept logs, and like he says, no, I pretty much set out what I wanted to do. Not like Ronnie Coleman, who just kind of just took a free gym membership and one day woke up and he was Mr. Olympia. You know, like you know, if you really want to give yourself the best chance of success at any point, you've got to go all in. Absolutely 100%.
I agree 1,000%. And also my background, you know, I come from 2 parents that have struggled with addiction and stuff like that. So I kind of have that addictive behavior, and I've just been able to use it and channel it in a good direction.
Wow.
You know, so I've been able to take that and maybe say, you know, like bodybuilding is my addiction, and the focus and the drive and the motivation to get better is my addiction versus the other way around, because I've seen how that's gone. And that's not good, you know, good direction. So I kind of knew that early on, and I always kind of stayed away from like the partying and all that kind of stuff, just because I didn't want to fall into that type of behavior.
I think if you've got a front row seat of something that you know you concede is not going to go well for you or for other people, then it's the fact that you've actually channeled that into something, you recognize that, and you've channeled it into something positive for you. I think that's a real sort of testament to your character, mate.
That means a lot, man. Like I said, I took all the bad, I guess, and tried to shine light on it and make it good, you know. And my parents, I will say, even though they've had their struggles or whatever, they're the most supportive. They love my bodybuilding. You know, they're my biggest fans. and all that stuff. So even though they had their bads, it really just was a learning point for me. And I'll take it and run with it because it seemed to make me a pretty damn good bodybuilder, honestly.
Yeah, you're off to a fantastic start, mate. So, I mean, like I did a little review in Hot News, and I was looking at your physique, and I said, yeah, I said, he's like a diamond. He's got beautiful shape. I said, he's a bit of a diamond in the rough. I said, he just needs to, if he can get fourth in a contest this tough, you know, with condition that's kind of not quite there. I mean, that's actually really good and kind of probably motivating for you for the next show. Yeah. You know, so that was actually a really cool moment for me as we were standing backstage, and I was standing by Ian, and I know them a little bit, and I've talked to them on Instagram a little bit and stuff. This was our first time meeting in person, but Melissa kind of leans over and she says, Ian, can you believe he's 24? It still blows my mind. And Ian just giggles and he says, yeah, he's about to get fourth, and I won my pro card when I was his age, and I think weighed about 205 pounds or something like that. Wow.
And so he's like, you know, it's just crazy impressive. And then we were talking about, you know, peaking and that kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, I missed the mark a little bit. I wasn't as dry as I wanted to be. So, and he just giggled and he said, yeah, it took me about 7 years to figure out a peak. He said, I think you're doing all right, you know? So. Yeah. He said it took me until about 2018, I think, is when he said he went to his first Olympia on points.
Yes, 14th.
And he said, he's like, you know, you're way ahead of the game. And he's like, if this is a miss, he said, just think about when you hit a home run. You got nothing to worry about, which was really cool. You know, that was really motivating. These older guys are the top guys right now, the changing of the guard, I guess, because they're really not old.
Martin, Ian's 30, and you're talking about him like an old. You're making me feel pretty old, man. I'm not gonna lie.
But I'm
these older guys, 30 years old.
Still.
Yeah. Well, thing is, it's 6 years. I mean, wow. I mean, to be honest, if you can even turn pro before you're 30, and you've got clear genetic potential and everything's in place, you know, you're in a very good spot. So if you're 24. And you're coming into your first show, and you know you missed the mark slightly. You still got fourth in a very competitive show. Like, you're a huge talking point now, mate. I mean, really. I mean, you've gone from being who's this guy next to this guy Brett, who I think is going to do well in his first Open Pro show, to being like shit. Everyone's talking about you now.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Exciting. It still feels like a dream. I still say like, I was talking with my dad yesterday on the phone, and. You know, I won my first check.
Yeah.
In bodybuilding, and we were just talking about that, and I said that feels so like fake. It doesn't even feel like real because it's just I still feel like the little kid that's a huge fan of bodybuilding. You know, we go out there in the first call out, and I was like standing by Ian and bump knuckles with him, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? This feels like a dream. Like this isn't real, you know. So. I really just love bodybuilding with all that I am, and I just think it's so cool, man.
You're speaking my language.
It's the most exciting thing ever. Like, I'm still just such a little kid about it. I just get to live my dream every day, and like that's the most exciting thing on the planet.
Good. So what was it? I mean, that's all Texas Pro, because I interviewed Freddie Nadeau for the Pro League Hype Show. And I mean, even for the show, he spoke to me about the venue and the passion that came through for the level of promotion and showmanship and the attention to detail, the venue, the stage. He said that he was DJing and all the, you know, the choosing the music, the lights. What was that like? Because it looked like an absolutely spectacular event.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, man. This was the best bodybuilding show I've been to.
Wow.
Maybe ever. So I was at Chicago, obviously watched Brett. I thought that was one of the best shows I've been at, especially as far as competition goes and the crowd. And Texas blew that completely out of the water.
Wow, shit.
Yeah, no, so stage production.
Incredible.
One of the best I've ever seen. I've been to the Olympia multiple times. It was right up there with the Olympia stage production. The pyrotechnician, I mean, these guys were setting off fireworks when people won. You know, the DJs were, I mean, they killed it as far as nailing everybody's music pretty much on time and everything like that. And they were so meticulous with time. They came backstage and told us, like, you'll be on in 40 minutes, and they were within 5 minutes. That kind of stuff is so appreciated by us athletes. And like, it was perfect to a T. And you could tell how much Freddie really loves bodybuilding and like wants to make it happen for us athletes, So it was like, the first thing I do is I go and tell him, like, I'll be back in 365 days. This is the show I want to win next year. I'm very competitive. I was pissed that I didn't win it. So, I go and tell him that, and he's like, well, my first goal is to try to make it so that you make more money when you win next year then. Yeah. That's cool. That's exciting to see. It's exciting to see guys wanting to promote us and promote bodybuilding. And it's our job as athletes too to help him get his show popping and make sure that everybody wants to come. Yeah. And I think we did a good job. I mean, I know they sold the show out as well as they had like 2,500 people online watching. Yeah. So they killed it, and I love seeing that. I want to see bodybuilding back on ESPN. So like, let's keep guys like Freddie at the top and make sure it happens. I think that's awesome. Totally agree. Because I was actually that same weekend I was in Alicante doing the live stream commentary, and it was the same. They had the pyrotechnics, the lights. I walked into the venue, and I was like, I've got to go back out and walk back in and film this and put it on MD Instagram, because it was just like. I mean, it's just so great that the pros have got these kind of events all over the world to compete in. I mean, but to hear that passion from the promoters, and they want it to be an amazing experience for everyone that watches or competes or spectates or watches online. It's I feel like during the pandemic in the last year or two, I feel like show production's gone to another level now. Yes. That's my observation. That's my feeling. No, I love that. I'm seeing it too. And I think it's really bringing in more of a non-bodybuilder crowd, if you must say, just for an entertainment aspect. It makes it more fun to watch. It makes it more exciting to watch. Yeah. Even if, who knows, in the future here coming up, it's like maybe guys can get it to where we have a certain firework go off in a certain part of your posing routine. That part of entertainment will be really exciting for the crowd. And that part of bodybuilding is what's going to get the rest of the world more excited about us. The comparisons and stuff is not what everybody understands, but the entertainment and the posing and stuff, people love it no matter what. Just make sure the fireworks are not aimed at the competitor. That's right. We don't want none of that. That would not be good. Imagine you hit that spread, they actually explode. Yeah. So I mean, I'm really happy to hear that you're with Gasp, because I'm good friends with Michael Johansson, the owner. I came out to Dallas in 2012 and did the groundbreaking for the original destination. And I literally, when I'm not in, like I said, Ponzi suits, I'm always in Gasp pretty much 24/7, or almost 24/7. And I'm really happy to hear that you're with a good company like that, and also HD as well, because you've got two great sponsors, you've got a great gym, you've got a great training partner, and you're off to an amazing start already. So yeah, I think everything's in your favor right now. My cards are all in line. Yeah. And I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, because I think it's been working. So we're just having fun. And honestly, I'm just enjoying the ride, man. I don't have any rushes. I don't have any expectations coming up. I just want to be the best bodybuilder I can be. And I know if I just keep doing the things that I've been doing and just keep loving the sport like I love the sport, I think it'll all fall into place. Have you and Brett spoke about doing the same show together? It'll come eventually. I think hopefully it will. Olympia versus something else, maybe an Arnold versus any like of the other pro shows. But when the time comes, and we both know that it's all fun and games until we're on stage. Then it's every man for himself. We're both very competitive, so it will be exciting. If that time does ever come, because we know that we'll kind of be talking shit probably under our breath a little bit. You're going to have to practice your posing in the posing room together, because if you're too close and you start bashing elbows, you're going to have to decide how it's handled.
So you're gonna have to. So you'd be like, hey, whoa, you know, you have to keep, you know, because people be watching that one. That'd be quite funny.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, exactly. So, like I said, it'll eventually happen, but you know, for now, I know that he's thinking something early, probably next year, and I'd really like to do Texas, but you know, just like I said, I'm kind of just taking notes and kind of figuring things out. So whenever the time is right, I'll strike and let things happen that way. But I'm really enjoying the process right now of just learning my body better and better, and taking notes and really giving education to, and content to everybody, kind of just like going through and explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's helping me also learn and get better, you know. You see,
you've established yourself now. You've arrived. People know who you are. They know that you're a good pro that can stand next to Steve Kuklo, stand next to Ian Valliere, Phil Clayhart, and really compare. You know, you're a first call out guy. And I mean, if you can just kind of also work on your kind of your profile, as in the YouTube content, the stuff with Gasp, you know, because they like with Nick Del Toro, they do great. They're good at promoting their athletes because they're good at doing it's very good quality video content. So in the next year, if you can just keep working on that, I mean, that's really good. So when you next step on stage at the Texas, they're going to be like, okay, you've got your fan base and they've been following you properly for a good year or more.
Yeah. No more being the dark horse, but more like being the favorite. That's the plan. So, you know, I've sat down with the kid that helps me with our YouTube. We have a goal set out that I would like to hit 100,000 followers by the end of the year. I'm at 50 right now, which I know is 60, but I think that we can really do it. We've got a lot of content. Yeah. We're actually filming for the next 3 or 4 days here.
Brilliant.
Just really pumping out content to everybody, giving out lots of information.
Yeah.
And I think that will really help us expand, as well as just now Brett and I are on the radar, and people are excited about us now. And so we're just going to keep giving out information, and keep just showing everybody how much we love bodybuilding. And I think that that'll shine through. That's all we need to do.
Good. Keep the team tight. Keep, really watch each other's backs and stuff, and make sure that you're kind of supporting each other, and you'll all grow. You'll all grow as a team then, and as individuals.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, we've established the right kind of team, and like you said, the companies and everything that are around us as well are perfect companies to be, helping promote us, making us better, and giving us content as well, so it's all just fallen into place to be perfect.
Had any advice from Phil Heath?
He's been around a lot. So one of the big things was right before I did my pro debut, I actually got my hernia fixed. So I had surgery, what was it? It would have been like 22 weeks out from Texas, 23 weeks. So I had hernia surgery and gyno surgery. And I was born with my hernia. It was just a navel hernia. And that was actually something that Phil had advised. He said, hey, man, just go get it fixed now while it's early. It's not big. It's going to grow. It's inevitable. That's what his started out as, and it ended up getting bigger, and he had all the issues. So he said, go get it fixed now when they can do it with 3 or 4 stitches.
Yeah.
So I went and got that fixed early on. I did that. I had 6 weeks of recovery after surgery. Started prep 16 weeks out.
Wow.
And went straight into it. And so, that was another factor. I don't make excuses, and I don't care. So that's not something that people really need to know or anything. But I know that next year, I could go into it dieting 24 weeks if I wanted to, or something along those lines. So I know I can be better in a lot of different aspects. But it was something that needed to be done. I wanted to get on stage with a flawless physique, as far as those things went, as far as blemishes go. And those were fixed, and I'm really happy with those. My belly button, I really think helped tighten my waist up a little bit, as far as waist control goes. So I was happy with that, and it was a necessary evil. So that was something Phil advised. He's been around a little bit less now. But just a great ambassador as far as, helping Brett and I and telling us, you know, like really just that we were good enough just to keep going, you know.
Yeah.
That's and coming from him, obviously, you know, it's he don't give no fluff. So
nope.
It's always nice to have him around, but it in the gym alone is something that's like, you know, you go in there and you go to train. You know, it's like, well, this one's had 7 titles won here. There's no messing around today. It's, you know, it's work. It's time to earn them. So it's just really a cool environment that he's created. And Dylan especially is amazing. You know, he helps us pose. He helps us pick whatever equipment we want. We tell him we want it. He goes and gets it for us. So,
because doesn't he give you all your own offices? I mean, Dorian Hayward's got his own office there. Phil's got his own office.
Yeah.
I think Brett's got his own office.
Yeah, yeah. Brett and I are in an office together. Actually,
wow,
yeah. So
that's great.
We're all together there, and it's just a perfect environment, man. It really is.
Sounds like it.
Couldn't be happier with Denver.
Right, okay. Now, seeing as you've competed against both of them as an amateur, Hunter Labrada and Nick Walker, you know, you've stood next to these guys on stage. With these two going to the Olympia, who is beating who?
Ooh, definitely. I got Hunter over Nick there.
Okay.
The only thing I want to see is Hunter's conditioning a little better than Chicago. I think it could just be better overall. His shape is so much better than Nick's. I hate saying that, but just muscle flow is a lot prettier. And I think size-wise, there's not a huge difference there. Hunter's pretty big, and I could honestly see Hunter in the top 5 this year.
Wow,
if they
top 5.
Yeah, if they nail conditioning, I'm really impressed with Hunter. I really am. He has a lot of great shots. But this year is very interesting. We'll see, because we haven't seen a lot of guys in a long time.
So you seem, obviously said you mentioned you've been to a few Olympias. You sound like you're very much a fan of the sport. Let's talk about the Olympia. Let's talk about, I assume you're going to be there this year?
Of course.
Okay. So what's your thoughts on how the Olympia will play out itself this year?
So this is an interesting one for me, man. You know, obviously I'm a huge Phil fan. So with him being gone, I think it's interesting. You know, I feel like there was a lot of pressure on everybody last year to make sure that they beat him, kind of.
Yeah. Well, it's a big scalp. It's a big scalp to take a 7-time Mr. Olympia, isn't it? It's a real prize, isn't it?
So, but no. So this year, I think we see some different things. Very interesting news this morning with the Bonac.
Yes, Abdullah.
I'm interested to see that. So I've seen people get better with him, and I've seen people get worse with him. So I'll be interested to see how that goes. Bonac is Mr. Consistent almost always.
Yeah.
So I see him in the top 3 this year.
In the Olympia.
Again, and I see Curry winning.
Wow. Okay. Now we're talking.
I love seeing the winners of these shows mostly be flow and shape guys that finally nailed condition. And so I think if Curry can finally nail condition, I think his legs are finally big enough.
I saw a video, a recent video, and I thought his legs look a little bit more, there's more circumference there going on.
Yeah. So as long as his legs are up and he's as conditioned as he was last year or even a little better, I think it's his.
Cool.
And the reason I say that is because I don't see Rami nailing it that perfect again.
Do you know what? Can I just interject? I mean, I'm amazed sometimes at how short bodybuilding fans' memories are. Like, as soon as Rami won the Olympics, like, Rami's going to win 10 Olympias. And I'm like, really? He's nailed it once? You know, you're just assuming that he's going to nail it again? Yeah. I mean, you don't, I mean, yes, he might nail it again and he might win again. Of course, that's a course. Yeah. But for some, you know, how many times did he not nail it?
Right. Yeah, no. So, like, I mean, I'm just like you. I look at a track record, right? It's like what, 20 weeks before that at the Arnold, they missed unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's like, and I've been there where I peaked perfect and then I've missed terribly. So it happens.
Yeah.
I don't see Rami being a Mr. Consistent ever.
Okay.
That's just,
okay.
I just don't see him being a Bonac where he comes in the same every single time.
But what about now he's got Chad and Dennis on his case? Because, I mean, they're literally watching him. They're watching like a hawk.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do think that he built the perfect environment for him.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, they had that environment for the Arnold and they didn't nail it then. Now they have a good formula, or better, the formula supposedly. But it doesn't mean that when he grew or he changed or he traveled that things hadn't changed.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still in the top 5. He's not going to miss bad enough to be out of there. But I don't see him winning again. So I see Curry winning.
Yeah, Curry winning.
And then it's kind of up in the air on who can be where, because it really comes down to who's going to nail it as far as peak goes.
I think you've got Bonac in second, haven't you?
I probably would put Bonac there. Honestly, with the coaching change, I'm unsure now.
Oh, really?
I always am a little scared that they're going to bring him in too full.
Right. Okay. Because he was a little bit flat last year. His chest kind of. Because I interviewed him and he said, "Yeah," he says, "my chest just disappeared and I just felt flat and lifeless." I mean, he was lean and hard, but things weren't really popping. It's like Phil's physique; it really needs to pop to be absolutely as mind blowing as it needs to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just don't want him to overdo it and then him look watery, because that ruins Bonac's look.
Yeah.
He has to keep that really dry, hard look to make sure his waist stays really tight. Otherwise, it kind of looks a little bigger. And because of his stature and his lats being so crazy inserting low,
yes,
want that to be as perfectly tight as it can be, you know?
Yeah.
So he has to have that perfect combination of dry and hard and full. So I'll be interested. As long as they can nail that, he's definitely top 3.
Okay. So you got Hunter 5th. Hunter 5th. Who have you got 4th?
I would. So this is interesting, man, because after seeing Ian in person, I'm a lot more impressed.
Yeah.
A lot more
He's
impressed.
one of those guys, isn't he, that I think you have to see in the flesh to appreciate it. Because I remember seeing him on low resolution pictures last year, and I didn't even have him top 3 at the New York Pro. And then when I saw the high resolution pictures and the footage, I was like, okay, I get it now. And that was just on video, but so I can't imagine what he's like next to see in the flesh. I know that he's one of those guys that's more impressive. Yeah.
So with him, it's like the craziest thing is he's peeled, like he's saran wrap. But he just doesn't dig in very much. He doesn't have a lot of crazy separation, and he doesn't have a lot of crazy striation in the muscle. So in pictures, it's like, oh, he's not peeled because he's not like shred. It doesn't shred to the bone or whatever, you know. But when you see it in person, it's like the skin texture. You're like, is there even skin there? So his conditioning is very, very impressive.
Yeah.
And they have found his peak to be very well. They know it very well. I mean, obviously nailing it 2 weeks in a row. So I'm very impressed with Ian. I think he could crack the top 5 as well. I have kind of him and Hunter fighting in there.
What about this guy?
So interesting, right? Brett and I were just talking about that. Brett has him number 2 at the Arnold.
2?
And
wow.
Yeah. And again, you were just with a coach and you switch coaches again. I hate that. Yeah. Not for any reason other than now I just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I really liked his look at Puerto Rico. So I was excited about what he was going to do next. Now I don't know what their game plan is. So I'll be interested to see. I think for him, I kind of just have him up in the air because I don't know.
Yeah, uncertain. Yeah, he's a bit of a wild. It's like Ramy. You don't know whether he's going to come in absolutely bang on like he did last year, or he's going to look like he did at the Arnold Classic at the prejudging. You just don't know. It's when he walks out, everyone takes a deep breath and they're like that, and they're like, oh, okay, he's yes or no.
Yeah. So, that one is like, it's really up in the air for me. But like I said, after Puerto Rico, I was like pumped about what he looked like. I liked that they brought him in really dry and hard. I think that's the look that he needs to chase. It just brings the detail out in his physique. So that's, man, there's so many good guys that are young though, coming up. Like, I think 5th place is just such a up for grabs spot. It's kind of cool. Like, another thing is who do we see getting qualification? You know, do we see Sergio maybe sneaking in and getting in?
He'd have to win the Arnold though to get in.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So that's because obviously he's left a little bit late, isn't he? So he would have to win the Arnold this year to qualify for Olympia. Otherwise, he's gonna have to wait till next year. Yeah. So who are you over everyone? Who are you most excited to see? I mean, it doesn't have to be a top guy. It could be one of the lower guys that's a new guy. Who?
That one. You know, I think honestly, if Hunter can really put it all together, I'm most excited to see Hunter. Yeah. I mean, a couple of reasons. One, Hunter and I have been close ever since Junior USA's when we competed together in 2018.
That's cool.
So he's actually who helped me get on gas too. And we've been friends for a long time. So that'll be exciting to see him come up. And Teammate. The other thing is like, I think we have a lot of shots that are very similar. So I would like to see Hunter be successful because I think it will translate.
Because thing is, like you said, like him and Nick, when Nick got 4th at Chicago, that was kind of like a motivator for you. It's like, okay, if I was that close as an amateur, then as a pro, could I get to that point? And but obviously like with like with Hunter, you and obviously being a teammate, it's so you kind of think if he does well, then I've got an opportunity to do well in the next year or two.
Yeah. So
cool.
That one I'm really, really excited to see. And then honestly, Sean, I'm so excited to see Sean Clarita this year.
Yeah.
His motivation is unreal with the John thing. We got a little glimpse of him just the last week, and he's already like peeled. So it's very,
I saw.
Gonna bring. And the other person I'm very excited for is Keon. So Keon and I are very close.
Okay.
And this year, I think we see the best version of Keon yet, which is really cool.
I honestly, Keon's not actually on my radar. I don't know why. He's not coming up as like a top 3 guy. But who did we just have on?
We just had, what do you call it?
Oh, Chris Cormier. We just had Chris Cormier, and he said he said he thinks that Keon will be top 3. And in my head, I've got it: Clarida, Lunsford, Kamal. I've got that's the kind of my obvious top 3. But there's a lot of people thinking that Keon could be like as high as could be in the top 3 this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Keon recently. Just when I was down in Dallas.
Yeah.
And he's probably the best I've ever seen him, and they're gonna push him harder. So I really do think that we'll see the best Keon yet. Do I think he can beat Sean? I'm not sure on that, because when he's peeled, he might be a little bit smaller than everybody thinks. Just because he keeps such a crazy fullness. Once he's actually peeled, who knows how far it will whittle down. But we'll see a crazy impressive physique from him this year. And I think we'll see the most condition from him, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And Derek, him and Hani doesn't miss. That could be very exciting.
It's all if he can. What I'm seeing, I'll be honest, I've had him on Hot News so many times because everything I'm seeing is just absolutely mind-blowing. He looks like a human Photoshop now. I can't believe the gains in his legs. I mean, he is so complete. His glutes are... But if he can... I keep saying, if he can retain 85% of the impressiveness that we're seeing now and still make it under 212, I think everyone's in trouble.
Oh, Derek has the most potential to win.
Oh, 100%.
In my opinion. But I'm with you. I don't know how bad it hurts his physique to come down. Last year we saw him come down way too far.
Yep.
He was like 205 or something.
What? Last year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He came down that far again. He seems to crash, doesn't he? After the weigh-in, his weight drops. He doesn't go up.
Yeah.
Some of the guys, like George Peterson, puts on like 8 pounds within a couple of days, a day or whatever, because his body just soaks all the carbs up and he just explodes. But Derek seems to kind of drop, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if he had to get rid of water to make weight and it just kept plummeting or what.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was tiny. He was super flat, like unbelievably flat.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
He has the most,
yeah.
Exactly. He has the most.
Shit. Yeah.
Because
Sean Clarita's going to be full and bursting and freaky and shredded. Kamal's going to be dry and detailed and aesthetic, and then you've got Derek Lunsford and Keon. There's a bit of a question mark. If they can nail it, are they going to look as impressive? Are they going to look full, or are they going? So there's a bit. Those two are the ones I think that we're kind of, like you said, there's a question mark over them.
Yeah. So I'm excited about those, and then other guys I guess that I'm excited about in the open is like now I'm really excited to see Ian after seeing him in person.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with that. I'm really, really impressed with that, and I'm headed down on Saturday to go train with Ian in Florida. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Brett and I are going to go down and push him and get him ready for the Arnold. Going to be kind of some fun training and do that. And so, that'll be fun to kind of get in part of his training camp and help him out. So
that's nice.
He'll be another one that I'm very, very excited to see.
Yeah.
These up and coming guys like Hunter, like Ian, like Brett and myself, guys that train super hard and just love bodybuilding, I'll always be a huge fan of. So, these are the guys, that you see and, hopefully we'll be remembered as like the Branch Warrens and the Jay Cutlers. So,
Martin, any thank yous before I let you go, mate?
A big thank you to like Michael Johansson with Gasp and HD, of course. And then you guys, man, we appreciate anything you guys do and sharing us, and everybody else that's just supported us and been a part of the team. Brett, obviously, huge thank you to him and everything he's done for me, as well as the gym, and just bodybuilding in general, I love it so much. So nice. I can't be more excited for the future. And hopefully we can get on here and talk with you more and give you some more help and good information, I guess.
As the Texas Pro champion in 2022.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow. Tell you what, the sport always goes, the fans always go crazy when new faces come through, but not just when new faces come through, but when they're good and they get right out the starting gate, they're just away. They're just, it's new names being brought into big conversations like the Olympia, and but I tell you what, mate, what a year you've had though. It's and I'm glad you're kind of shutting it down now until next year, and you're kind of regrouping, and you seem to have a really good kind of like everything's laid out beautifully, and I just I think you, like I said, you've gone from the guy, there was a guy, I think it was you hitting your leg shot next to it, he was hitting some poses next to a leg press, and I was like, who's this guy? And then you just kind of popped up my radar more and more and more, and now like we're talking face to face on the show, and it's like you've arrived.
Yeah, man, it's just been a fun ride. Like I said, I couldn't be more thankful. And we just appreciate you letting me come on and tell the story and kind of explain how much I love this sport and how much fun it's been.
Yeah, keep going, keep working, keep pushing, mate, and keep supporting your teammates. And I just only see good things happening for you, mate.
Awesome. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Martin. And hopefully see you very soon, mate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Martin.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, have a great day, guys.
Okay, guys, we are on a hot news segment and shout-outs for episode 31, season 4, 111. I don't know why that's important. I know not really important. Also, look what turned up within a day of each other. Two issues of MD. Well, the first one, this one, the Nick Walker one, they sent one and it got lost, and then they sent another one, and they turned up pretty much both at the same time. And also, I got a lot more pages in the new issue than I thought I had. Does that make any sense? Well, I thought I had 6 pages, and it turned out I got 16 because I got the credit for the Akin Williams article. I'm credited as doing the interview because Ron Harris transcribed it. So there's your interesting fun fact of the day. So, and also the Ronnie Coleman as well. They did the thing with Chad Nichols. We did the 4-part thing for Ronnie's channel. But anyway, back to hot news. Also, I'm hoping the cat doesn't bring the mouse in because I heard him outside.
He's got half his guts hanging.
Oh no! Well, we've opened the door because it's a bit hot in here, so I'm just hoping and praying the cat doesn't dump half a mouse on the table.
Oh, he's juggling with it.
Oh, I know. He throws it up in the air and then it's gross. I've seen crunching down on the head. Anyway, back to bodybuilding news. Okay, now the big news that came in today was William Bonac is now working with the Camel Crew, Coach Abdullah. So that has to be a recent shot. Look at that. Yeah, so he's finally, I got the taste of that anabolic chicken. But Badder, sir, hopefully you got my camel ready for the ride. Now, of course, aside from the Olympia, William is the defending current champion for the Arnold Classic, which is in 4 weeks, which is going to be 2 weeks before the Olympia. And he's looking to defend. So he won it in 2018, 2020. He got second in 2019 when Brandon Curry won it. So the Arnold Classic, so he's the current champion, so he's going in, he has to be the favourite. Do you know what's funny with Bonac? William, little William, people still don't, it annoys me that people still really aren't sort of saying, well, he has to be the favourite. I don't understand what this guy needs to do. He's won 2 Arnold Classics, he's been second at the Olympia, third at the Olympia. You know, he's been top 5 for a number of years now, since he was third in 2017, had him second over Rami. And it's just, I don't know I don't know. I just think people I don't know. I have not a clue why, because he is so, like Martin Fitzwater said in this episode, you know, Bonac is Mr. Consistent. I mean, he was a little bit flat at the Olympia last year when he dropped to 5th, but he was still very, very good condition. So he's injury-free. His legs his leg is obviously, because he had a leg injury a couple of years ago. And if you look at the 2019 Olympia when he was second to Brandon Curry, his right leg was slightly smaller than the left. But he's working now with a Coach Abdullah. So the only thing is, though, this is very close to the show. Because William's been prepping himself now for two years. He's doing the Arnold. Yeah, he's the current. Because the thing is, I think people forget that the Arnold Classic was only last March, but it was last year, so I know it's a year and a half on because they've been moved it to September from March. But he's the current and defending champion. So he's going in to obviously defend his title. I mean, it doesn't really give momentum going into the Olympia, but it doesn't hurt to go in with a third Arnold Classic title going to the Olympia. I mean, obviously it only really matters how you look on stage at the Olympia. But yeah, so anyway, so he's prepped. What have we got? Okay, what have we got? Yeah, so he's working now with Abdullah. It's an old picture. Look at Abdullah. He's in good shape actually at the moment, Abdullah. He's always in good shape. He's actually got a really, really good physique actually.
Is he like
what?
Karate champion or something?
Karate? Is he?
Yeah, something taekwondo.
Oh, taekwondo. Also, don't mess with Coach Abdullah, you know? So, and he also preps Brandon. I don't think that's a conflict, is it? No. I don't think it works like that anymore.
I don't understand how coaches can manage that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Chad Nichols back in the 90s, sometimes he'd have 5 out of the top 6 at the Olympia. And the deal was he took 15% of their earnings, of their winnings. So that was the deal. So obviously, the better they placed, the more money he made. But that was the deal. So, I wonder if William is going to stay in the Netherlands because Brandon is actually out. He's out in Kuwait at the moment. So Abdullah is working with him, training him every day, looking at him. Obviously, that's going to be an advantage over someone that's prepping someone remotely. So, so it'll be very interesting to see what this will bring. And I'm excited. I'm hoping that it works out great. And I hope that William looks his all-time best because he's bloody awesome, William Bonac. I mean, look at him there. I mean, people... Thing is, let's not forget, you know, he beat Rami last year at the Arnold. I mean, look at that. I mean, that was Rami third place. There's Dexter in second. That was the last time we saw Dexter. That I kind of wish that had been Dexter's last show.
Yeah, it would be.
Because Dexter dropped to 9th at Olympia, and he didn't look good. But he looked sensational at the Arnold Classic just 6 months previous. But anyway, it's done now. So, second place, yeah. And this is William, yeah. That was William at the last Arnold Classic last year. I was there. And Rami didn't look great at the judging, but he looked amazing at the night show like he always does. But, I mean, Rami's taken things to a whole new level now. So, so that was it, really. Just wanted to mention that. And I'm hoping that good things come from this and we see an all-time best William. And I really hope William secretly wins that for Arnold Classic title. I tell you what, though. You've got Valier. You've got Nick Walker. Nick Walker. You've got... You've got Rowley. And I'm telling you what, I'm going to put it out there now. I've got a feeling Rowley could be the shock. Because I was in Alicante and I was absolutely amazed at what Rowley managed to do in 3 weeks from Chicago to the Arnold Classic. Like, if we say, and I've said this a couple of times, if you say that Rowley was 50% at Chicago of his best, I think he was close to 85% at his best in terms of size and conditioning in Alicante when he took second place to Nathan Diasha. But, you know, this is still not... This is a recharging Rowley. This is Rowley coming back to full power. And I honestly believe, I think we're going to see what we saw in 2018, possibly even better. I've got a funny feeling it's going to happen. And if that happens and he turns up to the Arnold Classic, because the thing is, Rowley's never brought his best to the Arnold Classic, but the Arnold Classic is not in March this year, it's in September. So technically this is an Olympia prep that Rowley is doing the Arnold 2 weeks before. Does that make sense?
Will there be a massive difference between the bodies?
I don't know. I mean, I got a feeling William are looking to peak for the Arnold Classic. I just think he would want to win. I mean, what's more valuable to William? Winning the third Arnold Classic and peaking beautifully there, or coming in 2 weeks out, doing okay at the Arnold, and then trying to peak for the Olympia? I don't know. I've got
I reckon he'll aim for the Olympia more than...
You do? The Olympia?
So he might not win the Arnold because...
He's got to win the Arnold. That's his show, man. He's won it 2 times. He's looking to get a third win. And no, Brandon's not doing it. I was mistaken. But thing is, I mean, William... I think he's going to peak for the Arnold. He has to. And I'd be interested to see what Abdullah's got planned for him, actually. Maybe we'll have to speak to him, get him on. But so that is huge news, and I'm very excited to see what this new alliance will bring, because, I mean, it was a deep breath moment when William decided to prep himself, and then he went in and got second place at the Olympia, so it proved that you can do it by yourself. I mean, he had people looking over him and checking his condition, and he had friends looking at him, you know, and... But so that was a huge thing, and then obviously going and winning the Arnold Classic, you know, prepping himself again. 3.4 million followers. It's crazy. Have you seen Chris Bumstead? Have you seen when he puts a post up? How many?
I told you it's super viral. Super famous.
Hang on a minute. 600. He's doing a lat spread in his garage, in his pants and his socks, and he's got.
Read the comments. They say that's my daddy.
No, he must be very young. He's 620,000 likes. I mean, I mean, talk about, you know, like when I said, like, Ronnie Coleman could come on and just blow raspberries down the mic for 20 minutes and it still get 20,000 views. I mean, that's amazing. He looks incredible. But Flex Lewis, land the plane. Logan Franklin, glad I got another year to grow. Classic physique, Mr. O, until he decided to retire. I mean, how old is he now? Is he 26 or 27?
No, I think he's 28, 29.
Or is he younger? Oh, he's mid-20s. But, I mean, didn't he say he wants to be retired by the time he's 30 with 8 Olympia titles? I'm sure it was 8, he said. I'm sure it was 8. But, so, I mean, Chris Bumstead, I don't know even why I brought this up, actually. I forget the reason. I think it was this picture. Yeah, because I saw this, and I heard he had a shoulder injury. And to be honest, if you look at that's where I see the improvements in his shoulders. So if you can, that's incredible. If you can go in with the body. When did he get that tattoo? When did he get that? I don't remember having tattoos. Chris, come on, mate. You can't be getting tattoos while you're Olympia champion. Come on. Unless that's one of those pull-on ones.
Oh, from the
Yeah, like those when you get in the bubble gum, the Spider-Man tattoos, you know.
Oh, you ever done it? You've got a hairy arm for ripping it off.
No. I mean, yeah. So I just, Chris made a huge fan of me last year. I mean, what he brought to the Olympia last year. I mean, I'm just trying to see if I know we've seen it loads of times. But the thing I like about Chris, he's very real. He's very, like in this post here, this shoulder one, he's talking about how he at the start, he didn't have any money and, and it's a good story. Go and read it and, give him a follow. Well, everybody else in the world is following Chris Bumstead. So there he is with his brother-in-law. Yeah.
Well, he's taller than him.
Yeah. I think Ian is about 5'9", 5'9.5", I think. That's what I've got in my head. But Ian Valier. And Ian Valier is another guy, unbelievably popular. I mean, the views we got when we had him on Global Muscle with Patrick Tour 3 episodes ago, I think it was one of the highest viewed episodes ever. And he was on for 20 minutes and, but look at that. I mean, that's like something out of a Marvel film, isn't it? Do you think it'd be a good
Superman.
What? You think Superman?
Yeah.
Not with that lisp.
Take his body and give him...
Do you think? I don't want to say Batman because I want to be a Batman. But what would you think he'd look great as? Captain America? Superman. Yeah, Superman. You're right. Superman. Yeah.
I can't picture him anything else.
Superman. Yeah.
You move over Henry Cavill. Nobody likes
I was just about to say I'm more DC, but we're Batman. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I just I can't see him not winning his third Olympia this year.
Don't be surprised if he lands himself in movies.
In movies, he's got great personality and he's a smart guy. And thing is, Arnold went into films when he was probably around 30 years old. So if he goes and wins another 4 or 5 Olympiads, I think not calls it a day, he could easily go into a movie career. I'm sure Arnold started around about 30, didn't he? Mid-30s?
Yeah, so then in the 70s he started going on TV shows.
70s, 80s. No, he was the 30s, but knocking on to his 40s when his film career really started to go. But Chris, I'd love to see him in like one of the TV shows, like the Marvel DC, I think it'd be quite cool. Do you think it'd be a hero or a villain?
Oh, I'm a hero face.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Beard Man. Right, okay. Going to go Sulio's. I've completely forgotten why again. What was the reason? Okay. Oh, here's Martin. Oh, yeah, that's Martin Fitzwater. These we just had on the... Look at his legs. 24 years old. What's that thing on his nose? Is that one of those snoring strips? Do you snore? No, I don't. Now I'm lighter. I don't, but I really used to snore. I used to snore a lot. Yeah. But I don't now.
If you live next door, all I can hear is that.
Do you know what? I'm looking at Martin's physique now. He's very complete. And hasn't he got a similar physique to his training partner, Brett Wilkin? Yeah. That's crazy. But you can see, I mean, everything's there. Everything is there. And who do you think could be... Oh, shit. In 3 years, who's going to be ahead of who? Brett or Martin?
Cause a fight between.
Yes, cause a fight. Yeah. Next week, Brett Wilkin accidentally drops dumbbell on Martin's head and foot and quad. But they're very, very. It's crazy how people can train a certain way, train together, and they can end up having similar kind of physiques. I mean, it shows that you can train for a physique and for a shape and not just train and just whatever genetically you're meant for just happened. I didn't ask him his height, but his weight is 239 pounds there. So that's 2 weeks after the show. I'm trying to think who he reminds me of.
5'8", 5'9".
I think he's a bit shorter than that. Hang on. Can someone fill me in on what that nose thing he always has is? Breathe, right, strip, most likely. Okay, well, that's really interesting. Okay, I'm bored of that now. Sorry?
Made no sense at all, that.
Yeah. No, it's I think it's one of those snoring strips. Yeah, people wear them on their noses and see this shit happening again. Obviously, my appeals for guys doing naked progress shots in hotels or whatever has not been listened to, and I'm very upset.
I'll be laughing. If the what do you call it? The service came along.
The what?
Oh
yeah. room service. And then you see that. I don't see the point. I don't. It's a trend, and it's really annoying me actually. Oh, there's that Darren Farrell guy. I spoke to him out in Alicante. He's been living out in Dubai for the last 4 years. He's prepping Alex Small now, the fitness lady. He's going to the Olympia. Yeah, she's switched coaches to him now. Because, you have. Because him and Jamie Dorigo, the training partners, they both live out in Dubai, and they're both doing really, really well for themselves. They seem to be real go-getters, and they seem to be doing great things. And, God, look at that bloody naked stuff. I hate it. It really annoys me. And he's got great physique, but... Oh, this is the guy I was trying to find. Okay, we're going to go to his Instagram. Oh, he's prepped by Chris Sacito. Vladimir Yakovlev. This was the guy that won the 212 in Alicante. I actually had... somebody else winning it. I had the D'Angelo guy. Oh, what's his name? The guy who came second, Pasquale. I had him, but this guy was very, very good. His routine was fantastic. So like I said, I've never seen this guy before. That's a cool shot. That's cool. Yeah, he's really dense, isn't he? Oh, cat's there. Oh, hope you can go. Nope. Get away with that mouse. It's all right, it's fine, don't worry. Right, so he is, so this guy, new face, I don't know anything about him. He just showed up, did an amazing posing routine, and he won the 212. So this guy, Vladimir, another Vlad, is going to the Olympia in the 212. Great physique, great condition. What should we look at? That's what, look at these. These are Jonathan Morio's shots. Fantastic photographer who's the photographer for IFBB Pro Spain and does a lot of videography and photography for Emilio Martinez. Yeah, he looks good. Very complete physique. Like I said, never seen this guy before. Maybe I'll have to get him on and find out what his contest history is. And so this Vladimir is going to the Mr. Olympia in the 212 in 6 weeks' time. So I just want to give a little bit of publicity to this guy. Okay, I'm going to go to MD now because recently sad news that Matt Mendenhall. Now Matt was very well known for. I mean, the reason he's such a talking point is because, I mean, this guy never turned pro, but he was coming second to people like Barry DeMay, Lee Haney. And it was back in the days when getting a pro card was extremely, extremely hard. Now there's hundreds of opportunities to get a pro card, and guys really who are nowhere near this league are getting their pro cards. But this is a different time, a different era. I think he was it says 61, but somebody else said he was 64. I don't know the why he died or how he died, but I just wanted to give some acknowledgement here to. I mean, this was one of the guys that had to compete in the 1991 Nationals. Now, if you're a keen bodybuilding fan, you follow the sport, you'll know that the 1991 Nationals heavyweight lineup was Kevin Nerone first, Flex Wheeler second, I want to say Paul DeMeo in third. I think Ronnie was fourth. I think he was fifth, and I think Dean Caputo was sixth. I might be wrong, but that's what I've got in my head. But all of those guys went on to, I'm sure Chris Cormier was in there as well. No. Chris Cormier was I think Chris was seventh. And then 2 years later, Chris won the 93 USAs and then turned pro there. Flex Wheeler turned pro at the 92 USAs. Anyway, I digress. But so Matt Mendenhall, another sad loss to the sport. There's been a lot of deaths recently from... Like we had Phil Hernan as well. Was it 95? He won the USA's, beat Craig Titus. I'm sure it was 95. But another guy that passed away recently. So very, very sad news. Big losses for the sport here. I never met Matt. I never had the pleasure of meeting him. But Oh, God, people say about COVID-19 vaccine. It's just so disrespectful. How was this guy never a pro? So he was an amazing, I won't say pro, he wasn't a pro, he was an amateur, but he was a guy, another one was Edgar Fletcher, another guy that was kind of, if you go back and look at their physiques, you just think, wow, looks like a top 10 Olympia guy. And so very, very sad news there. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Okay, the next shout out is who we've had in this episode. We have Pavel Beran from the Czech Republic. I first saw Pavel when he took fourth in the 2018 Prague show. And I mean, first was Ruli Winkler, second was Nathan Diasha, third was Asrol guy. Oh, God, what's his name? The Asrol, does the Asrol, the glute thing. What's his name? Oh my God. Oh my God, my mind's gone blank. What's his name? Lucas Asladel. Yeah, he was third and Pavel was fourth. So when I heard that Pavel was coming back this year, bigger and better, I was very, very excited for what he was going to bring. And he mysteriously placed 13th. It was third call out. And from where I was looking, I think he needed a bit more back thickness. But for me, he looked absolutely sensational. And I thought for sure he was a top 10 guy. So I'm baffled, really. So I'm hoping Pavel goes to the Prague show, the EVL show again in November. In well, I don't know how many weeks that is, and I hope he competes again, and we see him get a good placing because look at that, shifting some weight there. Wow. Okay. What else? What else can I look at? I'm trying to get a look at his physique here. It's really hiding his physique, isn't he? Teasing us. He's put no contest pictures up, so I assume he's pissed off from his placing. Yeah, come on, give me a picture to look at, Colleen. That one. Sheep t-shirt. Don't say it. So, yep. That's not a bird t-shirt. Can you add some cricket noises there, please? We'll do that in post-editing. Oh, yeah. So Pavel Beran. I mean, I really rate this guy. There he is with his baby, unless it's just some random kid he's took a picture with. Excuse me, can I borrow your kid, please? I want to look cool in a picture. So I can't read all this. It's all Czech. So, yeah. So he's huge, this guy. He's fucking huge. But, scroll down. Oh, shit, what have I done?
Scroll down.
Okay, he's very sensitive, this pad.
He's trying to face, the kid trying to give him whey protein.
Which one?
If you go up a bit.
Oh, there's a giraffe one then. Oh, go up. I thought you said go down.
No,
Make your mind up.
No, you just missed it.
What?
One more.
What?
One more.
Oh, come on. Oh, this one. He's trying to... Son, this is what you need to be big and strong like Daddy. Yeah.
It's in the milk.
Cool. I thought that... Finish it? Oh, no, it says finish it. I thought it was maybe like a Finland team or something. Finish it. Well, I thought it was funny. Tumbleweed, yeah. Could we get... yeah, okay. We need some new sound effects for my terrible jokes. Okay, right. So yeah, I'm really hoping to see Pavel bring it. I mean, if you look at what Phil Clahar did from Chicago to Tampa from 11th to 2nd, I think this is a guy that could be top 3. I think in EVL. I mean, I really do rate him, and I thought he looked absolutely incredible at Alicante. Well, from where I was sitting, I thought he looked fantastic. Certainly not 13th place. And I mean, obviously, if you saw in this interview, you'll know that he was confused as well as his coach was. So, okay, next one is one of my favorite pros right now, Justin Rodriguez, who we had on Globe Muscle when he was with his coach, AJ Sims. But do you know what? I absolutely love this guy's physique. But you know what? At 4 weeks out, if I was him or I was his coach, I'd be stressing. But he always looks quite smooth and watery, even right up to the last couple of weeks. And then he always brings his A game to the shows. I mean, he won the Indy Pro. Second was Mohamed Elamam. But he just keeps improving, keeps getting better and better. But I would be literally shitting my pants if I looked like that 4 weeks out. I'm not talking in terms of, certainly not talking in terms of the physique, but the conditioning. But he always seems to know what he's doing, and he always brings it in. So it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's how I'd want to look 10 weeks out. Not 4. They are under 4 weeks to the Arnold Classic. But I'll tell you what, in 4 weeks' time, he will look absolutely sensational. So whatever he's doing, he obviously knows his body. The coach knows his body. And, yeah, he's 275 pounds. He's a monster. I remember seeing him at the 2018 Arnold. And he was 7th place there. And he wasn't a huge name then. And I tell you what, I was so blown away by this guy. I thought, when this guy makes a few improvements in his shape, in size and conditioning, he's going to be a factor. And I just think he's and I'm really, yeah, he's going to the Olympia, of course, because he won the Indy. So, but where was the picture? Oh, this is the one. Look at the shoulders and arms. Okay, now look at that. That looks photoshopped. Yeah. That looks photoshopped, doesn't it? And it ain't. I'm telling you. Put money on it. Do you know what? I mean, that looks unbelievable. Milos. Wow. Yeah. And, to get a wow out of Milos, that's... thanks, boss. I wonder if has he been training with Milos or... No, I think he's prepped by... Is he prepped by AJ Sims now? No. He's not with a... Sorry, I've got to get this right. I don't know who he's prepped by. I've completely lost my... Yeah, here we are next to Nick Walker. Yes, he looks good, doesn't he? Because he was second to Nick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you think he could beat Nick? Because I prefer his shape to Nick's. Sorry, guys. I do. I prefer Justin's physique. But I think Nick's on a roll right now, isn't he? Old Nick. He's on an absolute roll right now. And he's just... the fan base. Fan base means nothing really when it comes to, how you place and stuff like that. But, right, okay, going to go to our next shout-out is Matt Jansen, obviously the coach of Sean Clarida, Nick Walker. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is because I saw that, because if you remember last episode, I was trying to find the guest posing footage of Sean Clarida, and he posted this picture. Look at Sean Clarida. Wow. So that's what, 7 weeks out?
Yeah.
7 weeks out from the Olympia, and Sean's already in that condition. And I know it's the lighting, there's a lot of shadows, and they've probably put a filter on it. He's probably bumped up the contrast. Well, it's a professional shot, so they probably have done what they can do to make him look as good as possible in terms of conditioning.
Now he looks like a villain.
A villain. looks like something out of a Marvel film, doesn't he? But you know what? Sean was 177 pounds on stage at the Olympia last year. His first Olympia in 2050 was 155. And every single year, his placing and his weight has gone up and up and up. And the conditioning and the freakiness and everything. And he's just getting bigger and better and better all the time. If he can look... Well, he won't look as good as last year. He'll look better because that's how Sean Clarida operates. And just because the guy just works so bloody hard. But, so let's try and... Is he put the guest posing footage up? Let's see if he's put it up. I don't think he has... No, he hasn't. Brett Wilkin. I'll tell you what, though.
Ultimate Warrior.
That's... Obviously, I know he wouldn't wear that on stage if he was competing, but he's guest posing there. Isn't that impressive? Bringing a guest posing condition to the stage like that. That's real. That's a really good sign for him, for his future, for his potential, for his reputation. So he's up 10 pounds. 10 pounds from his stage weight, and he's still got grated ass, cheesy glutes. Cheesy, how do you say it? Yeah. So yeah, when all this kind of just fills out that little bit more, Brett's going to be amazing, isn't he? He's amazing now. I love this shot. Look at Clarida. So if Clarida's going to bring anything, do you know what though? His legs look as hard as that now. I tell you what, look at that. It's a mini Ronnie in it. I know we've said it 1,000 billion times. Yeah, Milos again. Milos. Crazy conditioning, pure dynamite. He should pose with TNT, I am dynamite. Love Milos. Love you, Milos. Gonna have to get back on again soon, mate. I do enjoy our talks. I enjoy disagreeing and kind of putting our cases forward for why we disagree. And of course, we have John Meadows there, who, sadly lost a few weeks ago. So obviously that's the sons there. Can't imagine how they're feeling. So yeah, Milos there, always supporting and giving love to the industry, which is what he does. He obviously preps Charles Griffin, doesn't he? Yeah, Charles Griffin, he's awesome. I love Charles, he's so cool. So right, okay then, let's go to our next shout out. I was hoping to see the guest posing footage on here, but it's just all it is just that one photo. So okay, we're going to go to the Arnold Classic because we are now 4 weeks out from the Arnold Classic in Columbus, so I'm very excited for this. What have we got? Oh, there's nothing much, is there really? Of course, we've got Sergio. I'm looking forward to seeing Sergio, how much he's improved. Very hard-working guy, literally does improve every single year. He was 5th place in the Arnold Classic last year. Felt he should have been 4th over Steve Kucklow. It was close, and I'm looking forward to seeing Sergio go up against Steve Kucklow again because it'll be interesting to see who's made more improvements. And because if you're at a similar level and one guy works harder and then they both get to stand on stage next to each other, then you find out who's put the work in and who's moving forward. So yeah, lots of Ian Valliere on there. Ian Valliere is so popular. I would say the most popular pros at the moment in terms of social media, talking points, views on YouTube shows. I think Nick Walker and Ian Valliere are literally, I think they're probably even more so than Rami. because the Ramy fans all they do is they just shout like love hearts with Big Ramy, hashtag Big Ramy, but they don't really.
No.
Do you think they really follow? Because Ramy doesn't really put much content out, which I think is a mistake. I think he needs to step that up. I really do. I think Ramy's missed his, especially if he doesn't win the Olympia this year, he's going to have lost that opportunity. Because if you think about what Brandon Curry did when he was Mr. Olympia, my God, that guy made himself so available to everyone that wanted an interview with him. I mean, we did the tour with him last year, the Olympia All-Star Tour. He just said, okay, I'm Mr. Olympia. I'm going to do as much as I can to promote the Olympia title. I'm going to represent it. And he did that unbelievably well, and I don't think Ramy has stepped up to quite that level. And I think if he loses it this year, you've then lost that opportunity. So Ramy, I think you need. I don't know. He's probably not even watching. Can't believe he's not watching. What's a global? Yeah, yeah. So there's not much on there really, is there? It's just Valier and Logan Franklin, and he's very popular as well. So, okay, the last shout out is the Mr. Olympia, 3.1 million followers. Not as many as, who was 3.4? Was it Chris Bumstead? I've just brought up an Instagram. Hang on. Is Chris Bumstead 3.4? So hang on a minute. Chris Bumstead's got more followers than the Olympia page.
I told you, people.
Oh my God!
People who don't know what bodybuilding is.
Chris Bumstead is a god. I'm saying it now. He's up there with Thor. He'd make a good Thor. OMFG. Chris Bumstead, and he's got the beard. Doesn't even have to grow one.
Just need to get a bit longer hair.
Yeah, get the longer hair. Wait, you can put a wig on. Oh my God, he'd make a great Thor. Oh God, I'm a genius.
All right,
Tumbleweed. Okay. Sorry guys, let's get a bit high on myself there. Right, okay, so what's on the Olympia page? Oh, it's more that Brian Jones from last week. Keon. Here we go. Fantastic. So Martin Fitzwater said that he's seen Keon and he says he thinks Keon really is going to be bringing it to the Olympia. And like I said, he's not in my conversation for a top 3, but a lot of people who know their sausages, they said that he will be top 3. So that means he's stepping over either a Derek Lunsford, or a George Peterson, a Kamal, potentially a Sean Clarida, because that's kind of like the front runners. So very, very high hopes for Keon. And he's another young guy. He's only like 20, is he 26, 27? Yeah, so he pulled out the Olympia last year. I think he had some issues going on in his life, which was kind of smart, really, rather than just kind of going for it and, taking a step back. When you're young and you've kind of got all this, sometimes it must be a hard decision to take a step back and not compete. So, he's still not on my radar, though. I think he's a top 6 guy. I think 6th to 8th. But a lot of people who are in the know think he could be, like, really up there next to Sean Clarida battling it out. So, okay. And I want to play this video because I tried to repost this, but it squished the sides. Can you put some sound on? Here we are. Hey, Arla, watch this. This is the new promo video that the Olympia put out. This is very Hans Zimmer, isn't it? Imagine that. Like the violin in The Dark Knight, which I watched last night for the 30th time. Watching Dark Knight Rises now. So, yeah. Janet Legg there. Is that Janet Legg? Brandon Curry, I think. That's Coelho. So I'm showing off. Derek Lunsford. Oh, look at that. Oh, John, I love the Olympia. My first Olympia was in 2001, and I didn't have my press pass for it. I went with a friend. Yeah, that was in 2002. I had my press pass, but it was a bit of a blur because they did a lot of partying. Should you play that again? Is that Brandon Hendrickson? Is that Dexter? He looks very thick-waisted there. Oh, that's Rulli. You can recognize him anywhere. Anyway, so now, of course, I run the Olympia All-Star Tour. So obviously a big thank you there to, obviously they posted it for us. So there you go, look. Okay, stay tuned to Ashley's IG for ticket info and schedule updates, Ashley K Fit, and promoters Giles Tiger and Lauren Lotter for further details. Meet and learn from the best of the best on the Olympia All-Star Tours. So yeah, ticket sales are doing really well, actually. I'm pleased to report for the All-Star Tour. We're doing 4 in the UK, 4 dates in the UK, and then we're doing 1 in Spain. Oh, that's the old one. Yeah, we need to update this because Adam Bonilla can't make this tour. We're going to do another one with him and Ashley next year. So this needs to be updated. So yeah, we'll have to, because things are changing all the time now. I don't think we're going to add any new venues because I think we want to keep it to the 5 because Ashley's actually going to be competing. She's going to be doing the Romania Pro at the start of the tour, coming to the UK, going to Spain, staying in Spain, doing photo shoot for MD, and then she's going to be competing in Spain. So she's going for another 2 wins, and who knows, maybe she might be a 4-time Olympia champion. I mean, if she wins the Olympia, oh my God, it'd be like when Brandon Curry won the Olympia, because I had the Brandon Curry Olympia All-Star Tour planned in the August, had it all set out. It was going to be originally October, just a UK tour. And then I went to the Olympia. He won the Olympia. And then we postponed it. We postponed it to March and because I wanted to make it bigger and better. So we made it a European tour. So instead of 1 country, we did 3 countries, UK, Spain, and Portugal. So what's my point? I completely forgot. forgot my point there. But so Ashley Cotwell will be our first one of 2021. Is that right? Yeah. And then I'm not going to drop any hints, but we might be doing another. We might be doing it. I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing about our next tour after that, and maybe the one after. I'm not saying anything again. Yeah, definitely not saying anything. We're looking to do now. The COVID situation's a lot better now for travel. We're really going to blast them in 2022. I mean, I think we might even do 3 or 4. So we'll see how it goes. We're doing a new format with this one. So if it works, then we're gonna, once we've got it, we know what we're doing and we're happy with the results and how it's all gone. Then we're gonna do what I did really in 2020 and just because I had 2020 I had 3 tours planned. Then obviously the proverbial shit hit the fan, and and obviously we had to cancel them all. So who was your favourite, Phil or Brandon?
Oh,
sorry, man. No. Do you know what though? After I did the Brandon tour, I said actually quite openly, I said, you know what? I could quite happily just do tours with just those 2 over and over again in different countries because Brandon Curry and Phil Heath, it was just, they were absolutely incredible. I mean, I've said it many times. They were amazing to tour with. They were so professional, great with the fans. Every seminar was different. It was inspiring. Because you imagine, especially on the Phil Heath tour, 8-day tour, and you're thinking like 3-4 days in, you're going to start hearing the same stories. But Phil didn't. He just, wow, absolutely incredible. He really does have, he could just do seminars and like that kind of Tom Platz did, and really kind of make a real name for himself. In fact, I think Phil's been doing some stuff at the Vault actually with Patrick Bet-David. So that's great to hear because he really is made for that. Also, Olympia gear as well. Might be some news on that coming soon as well. I would twirling my moustache. So, is that Ray? Looks like Rahal. No, it's not Rahal, is it? No. So, what can we see? There's nothing. Okay, yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah, that's what is that? 20? That's 2019 or 2020? 2020. Is that 2020? Yeah, because we obviously had the shaved head. You didn't like the shaved head, did you? I liked it. Oh, I look so cool. He looks so polished. He has beautiful white teeth and he just had them done and his legs are all shredded and Haddy shoot. Do you know what though? The Haddy fans do crack me up. I put on the Ashley Coltwasser the tour poster up and people were saying Haddy Schupan. I'm like, no, definitely Ashley Coltwasser, mate, not Haddy Schupan.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, let me look at this. Like Haddy Schupan. Look, Haddy Schupan. Hang on. What's it? Haddy Schupan. Rami. No. Brandon. Big Rami. Flame. This year, Brandon has no chance.
I'd be surprised if Haddy did bikini class.
Haddy Schupan body has improved a lot and Haddy will probably be Mr. Olympia. I tell you what, though, you've got to dedicate. I tell you, his fans are dedicated. Haddy's. And, who do you think's got the bigger fan base, Haddy or Rami?
It's equal, I think.
No, Haddy's is bigger. He's just, if you go by in terms of, unless he's just got like a team of like 100 minions working in sat at phones, just on every single.
Huge.
What?
Iran is massive.
Right. Okay. And he's a nice guy. Right? I mean, Haddy and Rami, they're both nice guys. And I imagine back in the Middle East, I bet they've gone. They've both gone to America and kind of dominated and made a huge impression. I imagine they're like such heroes. Do you know what I mean?
National heroes.
Yeah, they're like national heroes. I mean, I just and rightly so as well, and rightly so.
Their own TV network and all that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it really. I just wanted to, and also, tickets are also available for the Olympia, also for the Olympia All-Star Tour. Go to Buff Bombshell website and check out the link on there. Check out all the Ashley's pages and stuff. She's doing regular updates. She's been do you know what though? Ashley's been absolutely incredible to work with. I'm very impressed so far. So yeah, Mr. Olympia prejudging, nothing like Friday night. Actually, I disagree. Saturday night. So, there is nothing like Saturday night at the Olympia. That's the one. But the Olympia prejudging, that's when it's that's when it really starts getting exciting. So
I just want to view the
getting goosebumps.
the seminar bit where they start talking crap to each other.
They don't. Oh, you mean the press conference? Oh, the press conference last year was shit. Oh, it was boring. And get Dennis James back to the press conference. I think I might have to message Dan Solomon and give him a little hint because, it's about who works best with who. And I think Dennis James and Bob work amazingly. Sean Ray's very good on the live stream commentary and stuff like that. But, when you get people that really have the right chemistry, I think DJ and Bobchick have the best chemistry. So, and I realized they want to switch it up, but for me, there was nothing. It was definitely something a little bit of pizzazz missing. So hopefully this year they'll get that right, and hopefully they'll do a little bit with remember the live stream with Isabel, poor Isabel. You missed the pose down because she was doing an interview, and I think it was just like a slight overlap on the timings and stuff. So anyway, okay then, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of MD Global Muscle and what? Spicy news, yeah. Right, okay then, guys. Thank you for watching, as always. Thank you for all the likes, all the comments, all the views, of course, and it's always very much appreciated. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will be back next week with MD Global Muscle. And ladies and gentlemen, we are out.